Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness, that was a nightmare. And I can't see what I usually see, so I don't know what's happening. This is not helpful. So I don't know what's going on. Oh, so there's people here, but I can't see any comments. I don't know why I can't get the comments, folks. Let's turn this round. Oh, hello, folks. Sorry, I don't know what's been going on tonight, and I don't know if I can. Whoa. I have had a total nightmare with this tonight. Whoa, I'm not sure that I can. Wait a minute, let's take the. Really sorry, folks. I've had to put my phone in that way up, not landscape, portrait. I've had the most awful issues trying to get live on here. I'm really, really sorry. I was late. I was going to be quarter to 9 because I was sitting having time out with my daughter. So anyway, let's just welcome everybody coming in. It is, what is it today? Hang on. And I think I've got this a bit too high up. Let's just sort my stand out. Sorry, folks. Just have a little chat amongst yourself. Right. I think that I'm there now. That was horrendous. That was shenanigans at the end of a week with shenanigans. So it is. We're live. I'm live streaming here on Facebook and YouTube here on what are we? It's Sunday, the 2nd of February. What would be time with me be without shenanigans? Absolutely, Heather. I'm really sorry. So lovely to see Elizabeth, Heather, Andrew, all of you coming in there. So I do have some people, but you know, I had got it all set up. And I'll tell you what I was doing, why I was late. My daughter and I, we've got hooked on the Traitors, a series here in the, on the TV here in the UK, and we've watched the latest series. But we wanted to thank you, Andrew. Yes, if you could tag people and let other people know that I'm here. I don't know if anybody can go on YouTube and get hold of Steve. I don't know whether you know, it's working over on YouTube as well. Let's hope it is. So anyway, it's thrown me a bit. That has. It wasn't supposed to do that, but you know, shenanigans is hello, Abby, Sam, Andrew, all of you coming in. So totally threw me. I was thank you, Andrew. It has been a shenanigans week. It's been a shenanigans day too. So I've been and done a lot of traveling this week. What did I do at the beginning? Oh, last weekend, of course, I was broadcasting from one of my son's houses. So I was away. I'd had some shenanigans. That's right, I'd had shenanigans going there, hadn't I? And I've just done today. I've done the claim for the refund for the day that I went to see him. And you know what? It took me all day. I'm having issues with all these things, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just me and my memory. I don't know what it is, but it took me nearly all day to do my claim, but I wasn't going to give it up, and I managed to do the claim. I've got 2 more claims to do. Hello, Steve. Nice to see you here on Facebook. We've been having shenanigans getting live, and so I've managed it. I had to get hold of my son again to set up the broadcast again because it had logged out and I couldn't get in. So I don't know what the issue was, but never mind. As Heather says, life without shenanigans isn't part of what I do, is it? So anyway, hope you're all well. Hello, Karen Brereton's come in. Steve's there as well. That's lovely. Don't think my name comes up on here. Yes, it does, Karen. I can see it's you. Steve has been waiting over there on YouTube. Has it gone live on YouTube or not, Steve? Can you see? Because I don't know. You only just twigged. No, well, I was going late anyway. I was going to go at 8:45 because my daughter and I, as I was saying, we were watching The Traitors. We've watched the third series of Traitors. Now, I've not watched Traitors before, but I've got into it now because I'm here with my family. And oh right, okay, Steve. I don't know why it hasn't gone live over there. Never mind. You've all found me. You know where I am. You know where I'll be. Don't know what's happened. That's all right. Okay, it obviously has tripped up on over on YouTube. Don't worry, we'll all stay here on Facebook. It doesn't matter. So are you on the island or I'm still away, Carol. I'm still away. But next weekend I might well be broadcasting from my own territory. I don't know. I think that might be a bit of a plan. So anyway, the reason why I was going to be late today was because, as I say, I've got into watching The Traitors. Heather says, we love you, so we'll hunt you down. There we are. And if you're all coming in on Facebook, you probably can all see each other's comments, I expect. So we watched all The Traitors on series 3, and then I decided that actually I wanted to go back and watch series 1 and series 2, and so did my daughter. So we've been watching it, and we wanted to fit an episode in tonight, and there wasn't quite enough time. If I'd got to go live at 8:15, there wasn't time for me to sit down with my daughter and do that. We've had a day where I've been on the computer trying to get that travel claim done in all day. It took me, but never mind, it's in now. And my daughter's been out doing various other things and family stuff. So we decided we wanted that hour. It's an hour's program. So we sat down at 20 to 8. That's why I put the broadcast to start. I scheduled it for 8:45. Do I think I will ever leave the island? I think that might be a possible, Carol. It's not something that I'm planning desperately, but it may be that in the future I don't stay on the island because my family are spread, and I'm not so wed to the island as I was. So I don't know, Carol. I haven't made any decisions like that at all at the moment. But I'm coming back next week. I do want to be back next weekend. I will be. If my plan goes according to plan, next weekend we'll be home at what I call my own home, my flat. I mean, everywhere's home for me now, but I will be, I'm planning to be at my flat next weekend. In fact, I'm planning to come home on Thursday, if that works out. The train companies might know very differently, but if it works out, I intend to be home on Thursday. I want to get home in time for Slimming World, and then I'm going to go to Craft, to the hub on Friday, and then I'm not quite sure how long I'm staying at home. I'm coming home, then I'm coming back here, and then I'm gonna be flitting backwards and forwards and doing various things. So just watch out for me. Just see all the different backgrounds where I am. Just thinking. So anyway. Oh no, I did not hear that. Andrew is just saying, oh, that's very sad. Andrew's just saying, did you hear Margaret Bramwell, who set up Slimming World, has sadly passed away, age 77? Has she just passed away, Andrew? Because I hadn't heard that, and I'm sure they might have announced that in Slimming World on Friday if they'd have known that. So I don't know, but she's an amazing lady, and Slimming World, I mean, it's just amazing. Steve's saying, watch out, there's a go live granny about. There is very much about. I've been here, there and everywhere, and I think one day I'm going to meet myself coming back the other way. So it has been quite interesting. So as I say, so apologies anyway for being late, but we did enjoy. So we are now, when my daughter and I are now watching the first series of Traitors, and we're up to about episode 4, and I want no spoilers. No spoilers. Oh, right. Andrew's saying Slimming World social media pages announced it today. Oh, it must have just owned. She must have only just passed. Very, very sad. But I'm pretty pleased with what she's done, and the Slimming World organisation. That's it. Carol's saying I'm doing very well with the Slimming World. Do you have much more to lose, or are you maintaining your weight? I reset my goals because, of course, on Friday, I hit my 3.5 stone award. Oh, let me show you. I need to show it off, don't I? It took me a while. Hang on, let's see. Is it here? Have I got it? Oh, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. Here it is. Ta-da! Look, 3.5 stone award. I've got a folder that I keep my Slimming World book in. There's my Slimming World book. There's all my stickers on the back. Look, I've got stickers. I've been first half stone says awesome achievement. Then I had slimmer of the month, slimmer of the week, first 1 stone, 1.5 stone, 2 stone, club 10, 2.5 stone, slimmer of the week again, 3 stone and 3.5 stone. But this the 3.5 stone, I've been yo-yoing since October. I got within half a pound of it in October, and then I've yo-yoed. I put some on, took some off. I've been doing this since October, and then not this week, but the last week, I took off. I'd got to the stage where I needed 1.5 pounds to come off, and of course I just took 1 pound off last week, and then this week I thought, have I done it, or have I yo-yoed a bit more? And I just took off just half a pound this week, so I was well pleased. The only trouble is, I'm going to weigh in at. So I now belong to the group near where my daughter lives, because it was better to actually have that as my main group, because I'm here more than I'm home at the moment, and also it meant that I could buy a countdown, which is a set of 12 lessons. Thank you, Ailey, amazing gold cup, she said, from Scotland. What was I going to say? I've forgotten. Oh yes, so I'm going. I wanted to buy a set of 12 to pay for another 12 lessons. They call it a countdown, and if you do a countdown, you get something. I think you get 1 or 2 lessons, two sessions free, but also they were giving away a cookbook, which I think I showed you last week. So did I show you? Yes, I think I did. I didn't see your hello earlier. No, Susan, sorry, I didn't see lots of people coming in. Sorry. Did I see you there? No, I didn't see you say hello. Oh yes, right back there, where Steve said he was waiting over on YouTube. Sorry about that. I didn't see you come in, Susan. So please tag everybody else. Hang on, wait a minute. What's Steve? Right. Oh, so some of you have not watched the traitors. Okay, fair enough. So anyway, so I'm the only trouble now is that probably this week, when I weigh in at home, I might show again without it actually being again, because my Isle of Wight group where I go is a Thursday evening. My local group here is a Friday morning, and I don't know whether you know much about it, but you weigh less in the morning you do in the evening. So I might still be just about the same weight, the 3.5 stone off. I've got to work jolly hard if I want it to show on Thursday night that it's a loss rather than a gain. If you do you understand what I mean? Sorry. Hang on, I was trying to do something else here. So thank you. Hello, Titch Nana Tig. Oh, she's in here watching me live stream. Excellent. She's been Titch Nana Tig has been following me for quite a while now, but I've never seen her in the live stream before, but here you are. That's wonderful. So anyway, I'm pretty thrilled with my 3.5 stone award. But no, I'm not stopping there. Carol, I decided that I would take off some more. I actually really would actually like to. Well, I'm making the targets as I go. Not a huge target. I'm doing it in one stone. I would like to take at least another stone off, but in small bits, a bit at a time, not trying to rush it. And actually, I've taken off 3.5 stone, and I've been Slimming World since the 14th of December 2023. So just over a year and a couple of months, isn't it? Yes, nearly a year and a couple of months. So not bad. But I now feel like, when I did it before, I took off this amount of weight and then it went on again. I actually feel like I will keep it off, like I've changed my lifestyle now and that I've got into good habits. Yeah, Carol's saying I'll have to eat after class. Yeah, but I'll have to starve myself all day. And anyway, naturally your weight goes up in the evening. And I can, when I've sort of been, you're not supposed to keep weighing yourself when you're doing Slimming World. But I was intrigued to see why sometimes I was this weight and sometimes I was that weight. So I've actually have been going on the scales just to see how it all pans out. And you and so it was quite interesting to see that I can be 2 pounds heavier at night than I was in the morning and still be totally on Slimming World plan. But I don't beat myself up. Steve's trying to still detox after Christmas. Okay, what weight did I start at? I'm not telling you I'm not telling anybody what weight I was. I will at some stage. So anyway, I'll tell you. I'll give it all. I'll give you figures later on. But there was something else I wanted to see here. So let's have a look. Right. So let's see. Go back. Andrew says he's loving all the travel vlogs and updates. Lynn, that's it. So I went this time last weekend. I was on the east of the country, and to get there, I went because I didn't want to go through London with Navy Nora, because if I go through London, I've got to go on the underground, and it's not a very good idea for me and Navy Nora and the wheels to go on the underground. Well, that's not what I thought. I thought, oh, I don't want to do escalators, but I have since been told by one of the guards that whatever station it is that goes, I would have King's Cross, is it, and is it Paddy? I can't remember the stations, but apparently one of them's really upgraded and it's got lots of lifts. So I don't know. It might be something I tried, but I didn't really want to do that route. So when I bought my tickets to go, I went from Wiltshire to Bristol. So I went across to Bristol and then I went up to Birmingham and then across. I think that's in reverse for you. So the way I'm looking at the map, I went across and up to Birmingham and then across to the east. Coming back, I couldn't get the tickets to do the same. I have no idea why I couldn't get the tickets to do the same. So I had to do where my station over there across to Birmingham, and then make a separate ticket totally and do Birmingham back to Wiltshire. And because I was doing that, I had arranged to meet up with Richard, who lives in Birmingham. And I was trying to look up another friend, but she wasn't able to make it on the day because she'd got other engagements and I hadn't told her in advance. So I had a 3-hour gap in Birmingham, almost a 3-hour gap in Birmingham. And then sadly, on the day I was traveling, Richard wasn't very well, so he couldn't meet me. So I went to the passenger assist lounge and said, well, what can I do anything about upgrading my ticket or advancing my ticket, getting an earlier ticket? And So one of them took me. They're very good. The passenger assistance is brilliant at Birmingham. They've got an passenger assist lounge it's all purple. It was like it was made for me. And there's purple lights on the doors, and there's purple doors and purple paintwork, and they wear purple uniforms. It was really just made for me. Anyway, one of them took me across to the ticket office, and I said, "Oh, can I go on an earlier train?" And they were looking at all of that, and then the lady said, and she realised I probably wasn't going to want to do it. They wanted to charge me another £58 for going on an earlier train. Now, my whole return journey was about £68. So there was no way I was going to pay £58 on top of that to go home, to go back earlier. I planned to be in Birmingham. It didn't matter what time I got back, but I decided not to do it. So Richard tried to direct me to, he was, we were messaging each other, but he wasn't well, and it was a very cold day, so I didn't want him to come out and get ill. So he directed me. He knew that I loved the works, and there was a works somewhere near the station, but I think perhaps he hadn't anticipated, because I haven't spoken about this. I didn't find the works. I sort of was walking around with a map on my phone, and of course shenanigans always prevail, don't they? So I didn't find the works, and it seemed to be a lot further away than he said. Well, I think what happened, I came out one of the entrances to the station, and I think he must have thought I was going to come out another one. So that's why I didn't find it. But it was so bitterly cold, in the end, I just went back indoors and stayed in the complex that's the Birmingham New Street station. Let's catch up with a few comments, because lots of comments coming in. I can see Susan's tagging everybody there. Thank you. And several of you tagging. Yes, Ailey, I have reached the 100th Smoothie Hat Plus, and I will show you in a minute. My bag is bulging. I have a bag full of smoothie hats. I will show you in a minute. Let's catch up with the comments first. Andrew's on his travels for an overnight stay to London with his pal Samantha on Saturday next week, flying down on a 6:30 a.m. flight. Oh, well, have a lovely time. Andrew says, why don't I eat free food all day and I should be okay? Yes, I might do that, Andrew, on Thursday, and see that if I can. I'll be on the train. I'll have to pack a picnic, because I will be travelling back from here to the island. So there we go. Right. Hello, Richard. Richard's in now. Carol hates escalators, especially on the underground. I know, not a good idea on the escalator any time, but if you put Go Live Granny on the escalator with her trolley and all her luggage, that's a recipe for disaster, I can assure you. How many hours does it take to get to London from Glasgow? Right, okay. I don't know that. Andrew will have to answer that. Steve saying £50, £8 extra. Yes, £58 extra on top. So anyway, I've got, and the return journey, actually, was it the return journey? No, it wasn't the return journey. The return journey, actually, I had didn't really have any shenanigans on the return journey, but on the journey going there, I think I might have told you this last week. I was delayed because the first train, I think I had issues, didn't I, where I got to one of the stations and then they wouldn't let me on. Oh, I think my train was cancelled, wasn't it? And then when I got to one of the next stations, they wouldn't let me on the train because it was full up, and the disabled spaces were gone. So and that's right. So I was coming in to the final stop where my son was going to meet me, and it looked like I was just going to come in under the hour delay. So there's going to be 50 minutes delay, or 50, no, it was going to be 58 minutes delay by the looks of it. And then all of a sudden, the train stopped. Not all of a sudden, I mean, it slowed down and stopped because there was a red signal. and we were held at the red signal for 2 minutes, which was brilliant because it took me into the full refund. Once it goes over 60 minutes, it takes you to the full refund, and that 2 minutes held on the red signal outside the station meant I should get a full refund. Now, the last one that I did, I think last weekend I was telling you that my son had helped me to do a previous refund. And because I struggle a bit with them, they're not the easiest things to do. You know, you have to do all these bits and pieces on your computer, and then you have to load things up, and it's just a bit of a nightmare. I should be an expert by now, but anyway. So he helped me, and we got the last claim in at a minute to midnight on the Friday, like Friday, not this Friday, but the Friday before, which means that I was in time for the refund that finished at midnight. We do like to fly by the seat of our pants. Anyway, I think on Monday or Tuesday, I had an email saying, yes, we've approved your refund. So this wasn't a full refund, this was from a previous time when it was only a 50-minute delay. So I only got half the money back. But half the money's, you know, it was £16.50 coming back. So that was better than nothing. And that's already gone into my bank. It was in my bank by about Wednesday or Thursday. So that was pretty quick. That was Avanti West Coast. They did it quickly. Let's see now. So the one I did today, which I finally got done, that one was, that one is going to be a full refund, and it would be £30 plus, that one. And then the one that I've got to do next, the one from last weekend, is about £40. So this is all stacking up. This is all money that I've laid out, but that I can get back again. Because if you're late, you know, if you're more than 15 minutes late, you get a refund of some sort. But I like it when it clicks over to the hour. If I'm going to be late, I might as well be an hour late. There we go. So let's have a look at Glasgow Central. They have fab passenger assistance team who use shuttle buggies to help people with mobility to get around, and a nice waiting room, friendly stuff. Excellent, Andrew. Thank you. Do you ever buy stuff on the Works website? Yes, Andrew. And the Works website, the Works, as I was talking about the Works shop. So those of you who are not in the UK, the Works is it's one of our stores that does a lot of craft stuff. It does books, it does games, it does all those stationery things, but it also does a lot of craft stuff. And so Richard knew I would like the Works. Well, the Works used to have a loyalty card, and I used to use my loyalty card in there. They've scrapped the loyalty card, so I don't like the fact that they've scrapped the loyalty card. But I found a workaround to benefit from not just shopping in the Works, but you know how I love to either get cash back or loyalty points or all these things. There's a workaround because the Works is a top cashback retailer. It's on the top cashback site. So you can do online stuff. I like to look at the stuff in the shop, but then what I would do, you know, this is what I was doing when I was sort of living on the island all the time and, you know, wasn't running all over the country doing other things. I would go in and have a look and see what I liked, and then go home and place an order for top cashback through the top cashback site, and then do a click and collect. And if you've done more than a certain amount, you can. There's no charge for doing the click and collect, and so I do that, and then I get the cash back. You know, I get cash back as well. So anyway, I got cash back because I wasn't meeting up with Richard. I had a pootle around. It was too cold outside, so I went back into the station complex and had a little wander around. I had got some picnic with me, but I hadn't got that much with me. And I went in. I found an M&S. There was an M&S food place. And of course, M&S food is lovely, but M&S is also a top cashback site. So M&S is, but also what I did, no, I went So I decided what I was going to have for my lunch, and I bought some drinks, and I bought some fruit and all sorts of things. I spent about £20 in there, not just on my lunch for then, but some extra bits as well. And what I did, I stood in the store, and while I was in the store, I bought myself a top cashback gift card for £20. And then I used it at the till. So I got cash back. Not a lot, but all those little bits are part of what adds up. Because, I told you before, I've had nearly £600. But I'm just coming up for the 2nd anniversary of Top Cashback, and I have had nearly £600 back in cashback on things I was buying anyway. So it actually makes a lot of sense. Carol says, oh, hello, Carol. Carol Viles in. Nice to see you. I don't think I've seen you in the broadcast much, have I? I'm not sure, Carol, but it's lovely to see. I know you were a follower of mine, but I don't know if I've seen you in the broadcast a lot, but it's lovely to have you here. You didn't realise you were travelling so far. Oh, yes, I'm whizzing all around the place. Well, I say whizzing. I'm not really whizzing. I have help. Sometimes I have to go up and down the stations and sort of all sorts of things, but there you go. Sam's friends, Janet and Jean and Joyce say hello. So hello to all Sam's friends. And Carol's asking can I go anywhere without shenanigans? Well, I think you can be the judges of that. I think it's probably answer no. Yes, and Steve saying he bets I was counting those 2 minutes. You bet I was. This is the 2 minutes when the train stopped at the red signal, because I could see that I was only going to get, I was going to be not. In fact, I think we were a couple of minutes. That's right. I should have only been, if the train hadn't been delayed at all, other than the delay that actually, I was late getting on that train because I'd been late elsewhere. So I would have been 50 minutes late. But then the train had sort of slowed down a bit. It was the storm, wasn't it? We'd had the big storm, and the trains were going slower. Although it wasn't that bad weather, they were not going at them as speedily as they did. They were apologising that they weren't, but I don't mind because it slowed it down enough so that those last 2 minutes at the red light made it a full refund. Yes, I was counting those 2 minutes very much, Steve. Yeah. Ailey's saying she's always putting on yes, Ailey is putting on our community Go Live Granny community page, but please will some of the others of you put some stuff up there, otherwise it's becoming the Ailey community group, and I want everybody to share and do other sorts of things on there. Oh, Andrew's saying there's 50% off sale just now at the Works website. Oh, I'll have to have a look. And what's Steve saying here? Talking about travelling, all the drivers hate you in London. It's 20 miles an hour all through the city, and you stick to it religiously. There's no cars in front of me, but a long, long queue of frustrated drivers behind. Yes, but the point is, if it's 20 miles an hour, it's 20 miles an hour. And if you break the speed limit, you will get a ticket. So why should you get a ticket just to please the people behind you? Not a good idea. Andrew's saying M&S food at train stations can be so expensive. It might be a little bit more than I would normally pay, but actually the food is very nice. The fruit I wanted some nice fruit, and M&S fruit is always. I don't always buy an M&S, but I just thought, well, with all these train tickets being refunded and all this top cash coming back, I felt like I could treat myself, Andrew, to some M&S food. But I know exactly what you mean. Ailey's saying the factory shop is closing in Invergordon and Inverness. You will miss the factory shop. Oh, that's a shame. And Carol's saying, what did Carol saying there? Wait a minute, hang on. Let's go. No, no, you haven't been seeing them recently. You have been trying to get to bed a bit earlier. That's interesting, Carol. And tonight you're in, and tonight I'm streaming later than I normally do, because I normally stream at 8:15. But for those of you who join the broadcast later, I was watching Traitors, the second series of Traitors, the first series of Traitors with my daughter, and we couldn't fit the hour in unless we would have only seen half the show, and I wanted to sit and have time with her. And it's very exciting. So we watched one episode, and the good thing about watching past ones is that probably nobody's going to do a spoiler alert with the current ones now. Like last week, it finished, the current series finished last Friday, but my daughter and I were watching them together, so we didn't actually watch on Thursday. And what happened, I don't know if I did, I can't remember. No, so we hadn't watched, I don't think we'd watched on Thursday together, and I think my daughter might have done. So I caught up with the Thursday one, and then we needed to watch the Friday one quickly so that nobody did spoiler alert, because if you're on social media and these things, people will put up the answer of who the winner was and that sort of thing, and I hate that. So we had to watch quickly before we saw anything else, because we hadn't watched them on the night, so we had to do it like that. But anyway, it was very exciting, so exciting that it made me want to watch series 1 and series 2. So we're on episode, I think we've just watched episode 4 of series 1, and then we'll go to series 2 as well. So tomorrow we'll watch some more. Right, so Carol's had a lot going on. Never mind, we all have a lot going on. It's lovely to see you here if you can get here. There's no expectation of anybody having to be here. It's lovely to see you. And Christopher's saying he's made over 957 garden troughs now and recycled over 597 pallets of wood. And Christopher's on the Isle of Wight, and he's doing this and raising money for the Samaritans charity. And he's raised over £1,000 for the Samaritans charity to support mental health awareness on the Isle of Wight. Well done, Christopher, and the Hampshire area and the Surrey countries. But I think you do a great job on your videos, that you do so well. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, live streaming and the power of the live stream is amazing. And I've encouraged a lot of people to live stream. I was an early adopter, what they call an early adopter, because my son, of course, the son that I've been with, he taught me to live stream, and he showed me how to do that. And then he set me up to live stream the beauty of the Isle of Wight when Visit Isle of Wight were not doing a great job. And and that's where I started. And then, of course, COVID came, and I had to stop doing live streaming the Isle of Wight because there was nothing happening. No carnivals or any of those things. So then I started live streaming about knitting and all sorts of other things, and it just seems that people still like me to live stream. And so I'm live streaming, I'm also videoing, I'm also photographing lots of the people who give me passenger assistance around the country. The team at Portsmouth and Southsea, which is the last station that I come to when I go back to the island, I'm getting to know all those people, and they're all starting to follow me on social media, which is really quite nice. They're all tagging each other and letting each other know. And then, of course, I meet people like Mario, who's at Reading Station, and it was quite funny. I don't know if I don't know when this was. I can't remember which trip this was. Oh, I think it was going back to the island the other day. I might have told you this last week, but I just don't remember where I'm going when, and when I last broadcast in amongst all these trips. But on one of the occasions I had to hurry. I had to put my skates on. Well, not really, my metaphorical skates, because we didn't have much time to get from one train to another train. This is a bit of a fitness thing. Bearing in mind I have a mobility issue, it's just a bit. It's how it goes anyway. So on the previous time when I was going through Reading, we had very little time, and Mario is one of the passenger assists guys, and he helped me, and he ran ahead, and he held the lift so until I could get there, because he was quicker than me. And and then we got in the lift, and then he was messaging ahead for somebody to put the ramp down to hold the next train, so the train couldn't go because the ramp was there, and then I got there in time. That's called teamwork, and that was brilliant. But this time when I went through I think it was Reading Station, This time we had a leisurely stroll. We had 15 minutes at the station instead of like about 5 or 3. And and so we had such a leisurely stroll that I did a video with him. I don't know if any of you have seen the video, but I said, oh, let's just do a little interview with you. There was no way I could try live stream or video while I was trying to run down a platform. And some of these platforms have got, well, it's a bit dodgy because if it's a busy day, lots of the people are standing on the platform. There's a yellow line along the platform where you're supposed to stand behind the yellow line so that you're not near the edge of the platform when the train comes in. But of course, if I've got to get from one end of the platform to the other end of the platform and all these people are standing behind this yellow line, the only place for me to go is the other side of the yellow line, which I don't want to do because it's too near the train if it comes in. So I have to go the other side. Well, the other day when I was one of the guys, I was almost scared of one of the passenger assist guys because it was one of those days where I think it was the Friday I was coming back from Birmingham, and of course when I got on the train, it would have been nice to have gone earlier because I couldn't meet Richard, because my train was scheduled at 4:30, and of course that's the start of the rush hour, isn't it? So I thought, if I could clear Birmingham before the rush hour, but I wasn't going to pay £58 to do that. And actually, when the passenger assist people put me on, there was space for me. I mean, the train filled right up, but they got me into a disabled space. But the platform was full. Absolutely full, and he was saying, "Make way, mind out!" He was calling out to everybody, passenger coming through, and I was sort of like, everybody was looking at me, thinking, "Who does she think she is?" It didn't matter. We got through, and we got on the train. That's what it needs, so it was great. I mean, they're all different characters, these people. But I'm meeting lots of lovely ones. And then on the train coming back from Birmingham, I was knitting some of the little smoothie hats. Not these ones, because these are ones I've made this week since I've been back at my daughter's. But so I was sitting knitting on the train, and I like it if I've got a little bit of elbow room. I have needles that are not too long. Let's show you. I've got shorter needles because if you've got sometimes the needles are very long, but I like this size because I can manage like this without poking anybody, sitting in my seat. But that's a lot of time when I could be knitting a lot of hats. So I did manage to knit some hats on coming back from Birmingham. And there were a lot of people standing up because there weren't enough seats for everybody, but there was for me. And I was watching a couple of guys. They weren't together, but they were obviously on their way home from work. I suppose they were about sort of in their 30s or 40s. And I was suddenly conscious that they were watching me knitting. I don't have a problem with that at all. And lots of people don't talk to each other on the train, do they? But I saw this guy looking at me, and I said, it's making little hats. And I went into a full explanation about it and what I was doing, in the hope that these people will pass this on, and more people will get involved in knitting, and more people get involved in charity knitting. And so I'd had a little conversation with them and him, and then I think he got off, and another one got on who was also looking at me. And so I gave him the explanation as well and said, "Oh yeah, no, look." So so that was that. But so this is a bag of smoothie hats, and wait a minute, I'll tip it out. I'm on the bed. Let me tip it out on the bed. I'll tip it out and I'll show you. Now my daughter's done some of these, and oh dear, has anybody tagged Deb Stevens in this broadcast? Because last week while I was away, I met up with Debs and with Kath. Anybody tagged Kath? I don't know if Kath's in. Let's have a look. Right. Andrew's saying, did you know you can review stations on Ewan's Guide? This website is for disability access toilets, and it's a good place. I've added some reviews. Excellent, Andrew. I would like to do that. Tracy's in. She's late. She's late for a very important date. Yes, but I was late too, Tracy, so don't worry about it. There we go. You'll start to post on the group again. Been absent for a while. We'll post London stuff. Excellent. So any of you who are not yet in the Go Live Granny community group, request to join, and I will go and have a look and let you in. Heather's new in there. Steve, I think Steve's new in there. Steve came in, didn't you, the other day? I have to let you in. I just don't let anybody just join willy-nilly. I have to, you have to answer 1 or 2 questions, and then I'll let you in. Andrew and Lynn, community pages are both worth a visit. Thank you. Yes, now Carol's saying, did I see the post? She posted a clip about an advert about the Isle of Wight. Yes. Now, I've often moan because Visit Isle of Wight doesn't do a fantastic job about showing off the island. That's one of the better clips, Carol, but they're still not very good at promoting the island and all it does. That was that one wasn't so bad, but some of them one of the adverts for the Isle of Wight, they just had sort of a drone going over the top of it, and then they said, oh, do you think this is the, I can't remember exactly how it went, but they said, do you think this is the Costa del whatever? And they didn't actually say much about it being the Isle of Wight, because if you're marketing the Isle of Wight, we want people to know it's the Isle of Wight, and you need to tell them it's the Isle of Wight. It makes me so frustrated. It is a sore point, but never mind. Let's move on. You think it's your friend Jean's birthday this month? Excellent. That's wonderful. Ailey's been watching Annie the movie today. You like Anne singing Tomorrow Is Only a Day Away? Excellent. Andrew's saying he loves both versions of Annie the musical. You've also performed in Annie the musical. Absolutely, you love your theatre, don't you, Andrew? And went to see it in Glasgow in January 2025. Ailey's putting thumbs up for Christopher and all the good work he's doing. Oh, yes. Carol's saying I used to be live later because you remember having to miss the end and go to bed. That's right. So Carol Vile is going back to COVID when and that time when I used to live stream at 10 o'clock. Yes. So Carol, you might have missed some of the stuff. So in December 2022, I was very ill and I nearly died of pneumonia. So obviously live streaming wasn't an option for quite a long time. I mean, I took 18 months to actually recover from that a bit of scary. It was a bit scary. So 18 months later, and so grateful to the National Health Service on the island for saving my life. So I didn't do a lot of live streaming, and then it was it was my birthday, wasn't it, last summer in August. I think it was Tina. I think Tina's in the broadcast, and Tina said she missed my live streams because I hadn't been live streaming, and she said she really missed my live streams. And it was August, and the following Sunday, the following week anyway, was going to be my birthday. And she said, oh, I do miss your live streams. And I said, well, I tell you what, why don't we have a virtual birthday party? So I live streamed on my birthday, Carol, and then some people came in, and I decided that I would do one live stream a week now. And I was going to do it on a Saturday. The first one I think I did on Saturday, but then everybody pointed out that Strictly Come Dancing was going to be on Saturday starting the following week. And so I said, oh, well, I'll do it on a Sunday. And then they pointed out that the Strictly results were going to be at 7 o'clock on Sunday. So that's why I went live streaming at 8:15 on a Sunday. So doing it once a week now. But it is earlier generally, Carol. So I normally it's 8:15. I scheduled 8:45 tonight because I was watching The Traitors with my daughter on the replay, and then I couldn't get live at 8:45. I had some issues until just after 9 o'clock when I finally went live, but it's only gone live on Facebook and not on YouTube, and I don't know why, but we're not going to worry about it. You still have washing up to do before bed, mostly dog dishes. You're trying to get some eBay stuff addressed and packed, and use more of your late hubby's stamps to post them. And your printer ink didn't arrive yesterday, so you have to hand write. So, oh, what a bore. But the stamps have to be wetted and don't like sticking to some package. Oh, my goodness, shenanigans with your parcels. So you'll have to stick a sheet of paper on something so the stamps will stick. Oh, what a palaver, Carol. But, you know, there we go. You try and get as many low-value stamps on as possible with the space available. They love you at the post office. I bet they do. I tell you, that reminds me of my first husband, who used to, years ago, we used to have coupons in magazines and things. You know, you could get 5p off this and 10p off that. A bit like with me with my top cashback, but it was actually coupons. And he was an absolute so-and-so. You know, he didn't mind irritating people. And I remember one Christmas Eve, he went in a shop, one of the local shops, with all the little voucher. And I didn't will him to do it. It was just his own idea. And he went and he irritated people, because on Christmas Eve, probably everybody's trying to get hurried up and finish off and do their Christmas shopping. And he would stand there with his £5 of all these different, all the little tiny coupons that all had to be put through the till and added up. So that's the sort of person. I mean, he had a wicked sense of humour. You know, there was, but he did irritate people as well. Ailey's saying, how much does it cost for first and second class? The price goes up every year. I don't know. I can't remember these days. Ailey thinks I have a very exciting life. I make the best of it. It may not be the most exciting, but I do make the best of it, and I do have shenanigans all around the town. A wonderful family to visit. Glad that your daughter is knitting smoothly. Yes, and my daughter now, from never having, most of you know that I've been an avid knitter for years and years and years, ever since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, but it never really rubbed off on my daughter. And I had a go at attempting to teach her, and then a few years ago I taught her when we were away on caravan holiday, but she's never really done anything very much with it. Well, I have to say, the times, they are a-changing, because she's now actually picking up the knitting at times when before, you know, she just thought, oh, eventually she'll pick up the knitting and do it. She is wanting to do it, and she has made, let me see, some of the, I don't know if I can see which of her hat. Oh, she made some of the hats like this. So wait a minute, I'm just looking to see. No, yes. This ball of wool, I gave her this ball of wool because these balls of wool, I mean, I've knitted some hats like this, which are just a bit plain, and then I've made a fancy, you know, pom-pom on the top. But these ones, the pattern all comes from the pattern in the wool. So you only actually just knit straight. You're not actually changing balls of wool or anything, but they come out in those sort of fancy patterns. So I bought, when I went home the other day, back to where I live, I came back with a huge amount, I think two great big bags of wool. So we've got plenty of wool here. We're not going to run out very soon. And I bought some of these so that she could do it. You can see how it changes, and it makes all the most amazing patterns on the wool. And I think that's one of the ones she did. Look, I do these bits. I sew it up because she's not over keen on sewing up, but I don't mind. She knits them, and she's getting quite good and quite quick. So it's just lovely. And tonight, she even picked her knitting up and brought it into the kitchen where I was doing something that normally, you know, she'd only go and sit on the sofa when she'd done loads of other chores. She's picking it up, you know, like now more like I would. She says it's hard to put down. She's finally reached the stage that I like. You know, my hands itch to pick up my knitting needles. You know, if I'm not knitting, sometimes I feel like I've got to be doing something, you know. So anyway, let me show you. I'm going to pick the camera up and show you. Look. Sorry, that's all bedding behind. Look. Whoa, can I show? Oh, look. Can you see? Look. All those loads and loads and loads There's more than 100. And do you know what? I turn the camera that way round, and I can't see any comments. If I turn it this way round, all your comments are underneath. I don't know what's going on tonight, but let's put you back up there. Okay, so we have got more than 100 hats here. And of course, some of you will know that Helen at Isle of Wool, on the Isle of Wight, she threw down the gauntlet 2 or 3 weeks ago and said, and challenged the Go Live Granny community to make more hats, more smoothie hats than she and Anne in the shop can make. Now, I better explain, if anybody's watching in and don't know what these hats are for, they're not for me because they're a bit small. They go on drink bottles. So, I mean, I've got a Pepsi one here, but imagine this is a bottle of a smoothie drinks. So innocent smoothies make drink, but in a bottle a bit smaller than this, and but they're a bit like that. And then there's a campaign called the Big Knit, and once a year, although there's been a bit of a gap, but for many years, once a year, they put all these little hats on that people like me have made, and all over the country people are making them, and they put them on the bottles in the not Pepsi bottles, smoothie bottles, in the supermarkets and the shops, and they were charging an extra 25p for each hat. This year they've put it up to 30p. They've had a bit of a gap when it hasn't happened, and we were all waiting and thinking, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? And then they said it is going to happen. So every hat is worth 30p, and so that's I'm just use a lot of my scraps up. Or the other day I came back with some tiny weeny little balls of wool, and what I've done with those is I've made all these things. So this is just some of my old scraps of wool, and what I've done, I was using a pom-pom maker to try and make these fancy pom-poms, but it fell to bits, and I bought a new one and that started to fall to bits, and I thought, do you know what, blow that for a game of soldiers, it's taking too long, I need to speed up. So what I did, instead of using a pom-pom maker, I get the wool like this. Let me show you. I can do a demonstration. Whoops, I can if I can find the end of the wool. So this is how I do it, and I put 3 fingers like that, and I roll. Whoops, not like that, not like that. I wind it round 20 times, or if I have it double, like 2 colors, I put 2 colors together and I wind it round 10 times. So I've got a lot. So I make one of these. Whoops. Then I use that bit to sew it to the hat, and then when I've done that, I cut all the loops, and then that's how we get that. And it's much quicker than making all those pom-poms, way quicker. So, if I've got a few minutes spare before I've got to go and do something, I'll get some scraps of wool and I'll just do all that, just prep all those. So I've got a whole pile of them. Look, I got loads of them, loads and loads. And then when I came back, from my house, I also bought some balls of wool like this. Now, this is a very thin 4-ply wool. I don't like knitting with 4-ply wool. The only time I will knit with 4-ply wool is if I knit 2 strands together and make it like double wool, because it doesn't grow very fast and it's not very interesting. This is not a very interesting ball of wool, but it will make some lovely pom-poms. So I'm using bits like that I'm not over keen on using for knitting to make the pom-poms. So that was, just a little lesson there. Let's have a look. Right, let's see. You watched Annie the movie, right? Thumbs up for Crystal. Yes, I did do the lives later. So there we are. Carol was talking in there. Ailey was asking about how much it costs for stamps. Wait a minute. Glad that my daughter's knitting smoothie. Yes, I'm really pleased too, and she's really enjoying it. And knitting is so good for the mental health. Well, it is if you can do it. It might not be good for your mental health if you can't get your head, you can't work it out, and it might be worse for your mental health. But generally, it is. If you get the hang of it, it's very good for your mental health. Steve reckons he'd be all fingers and thumbs if he tried knitting. I don't know. I'll challenge you to have a go, Steve. Andrew loved Birmingham. He went down for the Commonwealth Games in 2022 and was at the opening and closing of the games. Birmingham was fun times. Excellent. Andrew's tagging. Oh, now the reason I wanted you to tag Deb Stevens, because I was in Deb's part of the world when I went to see my son, and my son was the one who introduced me to Deb's. I thought it would be good for us to have a meet up for coffee. And of course, Kath and John, they are not a million miles away from where I was going to be. Right. So sorry, I'm coming. Tracy, I've just seen your comment. I'll come to that in just a second. So Kath and John were prepared to drive to meet us. So we had a wonderful meet up, and actually we met up in a local restaurant near where my son lives, and it was lovely because Debs was there, and Debs has been doing some knitting now. I'm thrilled to bits. And you know what? I don't know where what she knitted is tucked in one of my bags that I haven't turned out yet since I came back, and she's knitted a smoothie hat, and she's done another one. Now, I'm thrilled to bits because Debs has, I'm sure she won't mind me telling you because I think she puts it on social media herself, her hands shake. So for anybody who then can even attempt to do something like this when their hands shake is amazing. I'm absolutely thrilled. Yes, I've made a lot, but my hands don't shake. She even bothered to attempt, and I was so pleased to see that she actually wanted to be part of what we were doing. So I was thrilled to bits, and it was amazing. But I will find it, and I will put a picture up of it. It's tucked in my luggage somewhere, and of course I was having I was going to look for it, and then I was having shenanigans getting live tonight. So if I go and look for that, I'll never get live. Coming back to Andrew sent me a link for you and Guided Steve says yes, he's in the community. Tracy's now put, not to put a damper on your life, but please all give us and Nikki's husband and family your love on Thursday. So yes, Nikki, for Nikki's funeral. Now Tracy was very close to Nikki. Nikki was a lovely lady. I met her, and she very sadly lost her daughter some years ago. And a beautiful little girl who smiled. I didn't know the little girl. I met the mummy afterwards. But the little girl, Kezzy, sadly, she's no longer with us. And in her memory, Nikki, her mummy, did a lot of fundraising and a lot of she helped with her team. So Tracy's part of the team as a friend, and it was teamwork, but driven by Nikki. They set up a play park, and I went to live stream that when they opened the Bumbles play park. They did loads of fundraising and all sorts of things to raise money to put smiles on children's faces who might not otherwise smile. An amazing charity. Tracy, is the charity carrying on? I don't know. I mean, we'll have a chat privately, Tracy, about that. But please, everybody, will you please remember Tracy, Nikki's husband. I mean, Nikki got married within the last year of her life, but it was just wonderful to see that celebration. I didn't go, but I could see all the pictures and things. It was just nice. So please, everybody, keep them in your hearts for Thursday for Nikki's funeral. I wasn't quite sure when it was, Tracy. I hadn't spotted when it was, but it's going to be on and I'm sure there will be so many supporters there, so many people holding them in their hearts, and we will too. Let me know what time it is, Tracy, so that I can sort of think about that. At that time, I will be travelling on Thursday back to the island, but let me know what time. So thanks for that, Tracy. It's always good to, have these things put in. We balance life. Life is not all, rosy, and we have to balance it all out and support each other. So yes, we'll be thinking of you on Thursday. Milton Keynes Shopping Centre. Andrew's had an advert made last year, and it was filmed in Glasgow, and all the locals in Milton Keynes were not happy at all. No, absolutely stupid. What is the point of promoting Milton Keynes by something that wasn't filmed in Milton Keynes. My goodness. Well, probably by the same sort of people who did it for Isle of Wight. You know, don't get me started. Ailey's only been in an aeroplane once in her life. Got married in Italy, in Sorrento, July 2015. I've been to Sorrento. I won a holiday I didn't win a holiday. I did win it, but I earned it when I was selling children's books. They used to do all these travel incentives, and I bust a gut to get free holidays. You know how I like all this cash back and everything like that. Well, I bust a gut, and I had 5 foreign holidays in 6 years. Because I worked hard and it was an incentive, and you know, they incentivized us to do things. I mean, it made my book business better, and of course it made more money for the company, so everyone was a winner. But I went to Sorrento. I had a lovely holiday there, and actually that was just after I'd lost the weight previously. Now, I mean, now I've lost weight. Now I intend to keep it off and change my whole lifestyle. But sadly, at that point, I lost a lot and then I put it back on. But there you go. Lots of orange trees in Sorrento. There are. Carol's saying it must be really cold on the Isle of Wight tonight because the road gritters are out tonight. Oh, well, I'm not there. I'm in and it's nice and warm here. And you know what? Because I'm staying here, I'm not going to have a big fuel bill, am I? I've got my heating, so it will kick in if it suddenly freezes. You know, my house pipes won't freeze, but it's, it won't have been on most of the time, so I will get a small bill. That's good. Right, so which is I know you were really ill and have dipped in and out when you see them, but maybe I'm walking, cooking, washing. It said, didn't realise it was weekly. Now I don't watch TV usually. Every now and then I will, usually after I have family staying, can watch it. Okay, Carol, but it's lovely to see. I was just so thrilled to see you in here. You know, a name I recognise. Richard says cashback is great. But are you using it, Richard? Because I didn't think. Have you started using it? Apparently, you will need a TV license for watching Netflix soon. Oh, will you? Oh, right. Okay. Well, we'll see about that. Hello, Paul. Paul, coming. Oh, Paul, from Devon, one of our viewers from past times, back again. How lovely to see you. Richard's saying, do you remember Green Shield stamps in the catalogue, a precursor to Argos? I certainly do remember the Green Shield stamps and sticking all those stamps into my mum and dad's Green Shield books. So you got though it was it was a loyalty scheme, but instead of having a loyalty card with points on it, you had stamps that you had to stick in a book. Holly Smith, Holly Vlogs, is great with coupons and loves getting so many bargains and has a stockpile at home with bargains, etc. Excellent. And Steve remembers his mum's Tupperware parties. I used to sell Tupperware at one stage. I used to go out and sell Tupperware and do Tupperware parties. I wasn't very good at selling Tupperware, way better at selling children's books. But then I'm an ex-teacher, aren't I? So it fitted better. London would be a good holiday for Ailey. She would visit art galleries, churches and museums. She thinks she would miss out on the London Big Wheel. Do you know what? You and me both. I don't think I would go on the Big Wheel. Oh, I'll tell you something today. I was watching, I told you I was watching Traitors. And oh my goodness, some of the things that they're doing in this series, I would not want to be a contestant. I did have the opportunity once to possibly be on one of these reality TV games since I've been the Go Live Granny, but I did on these shows. But I decided, you know what, I don't want to do that. I want to, it's not something I would like to do. I love having fun, but some of those things I really wouldn't want to do. And tonight we were watching people being buried as part of the game of the traitors, and the other people had to find them and find where they were. But I would have been terrified. And then some of them were strapped to a big wheel, strapped out like this on a big wheel, that on the outside of a big wheel, and those things would terrify me. So, well, we're way behind with the comments, I think. Carol says second class letter is 85 and first is £1.65 now. I have a lot of stamps, sheets of first class that I would sell at a discount if anyone wants them. Okay, Carol, if anybody wants them, give Carol a message. So I do not think the smoothie would be cool if you could just buy the hats on I do not think the smoothie would be cool. Oh, I do not. Oh, you do not. Sorry. You do not drink the smoothie. It would be cool if you could just buy the hats on their own too. Absolutely. Uh, Ailey thinks £1.65 for first class stamp is pricey. Yes, it is. It's a shocking price. It is a lot. Royal Mail wants to get rid of second class mail delivery on a Saturday. Yes, I saw that the other day. Um, they're not doing a great job of delivering the mail at the moment. So, let's see what happens. What charity does it? Oh, the charity. Do you mean the charity for the smoothie hats? Sorry, Carol, I missed that bit out, didn't I? It goes to AIDS UK Isle of Wight. Well, it doesn't. The smoothie hats all over the country are done for the whole for AIDS UK. On the island, if we keep the money on the island, no, if we want to keep the money on the island, AIDS UK Isle of Wight is a charity in its own right, part of the whole AIDS UK charities. If we want the money to be used on the Isle of Wight for the elderly people there, we need to do a minimum of 12,500 hats. Now, as I say, Helen at Isle of Wool said that she challenged us as the Go Live Granny community, me and the Go Live Granny community, to knit more hats than she and Anne, her who works in the shop with her, can do. Now she's been having banter with me on her Isle of Wool page, and then I've been messaging her privately. So she's sort of willing us on. The thing is, it's lots of happy banter. And I keep, bantering with her online, which is good for her shop because people get her shop noticed more, and hopefully she'll make more wool. It's good for the charity because they will be the winners if lots of people make hats. It's good for all of us because it's lots of fun. It's putting the fun into fundraising, and so it's a win-win. Everybody wins that way. And so here there are more than 100 hats. I did 24 yesterday. No, 12 yesterday and 12 the day before, but I wasn't knitting all day. I've done about 3 today. I might do a bit more knitting before I go to bed, but I was on this blooming computer trying to get my money back, wasn't I? But actually now, what's interesting, I've got 24 hats. They're not all got their pom-poms on. These are some of the 24. And this is a very interesting ball of wool. I put a picture. I can't show you the ball of wool because I've used it all up. But it was this sort of ball of wool. Lots of different colours in the ball. And all of these hats, and I'm going to show you now, were all knitted from the same ball of wool, but it made a different pattern on every hat. So just have a look at some of these. That's how it came out. Some of them more pinky than others, some of them stripy, some of them a bit spotty. It was fascinating to watch. There might be 1 or 2 similar ones, but it was absolutely fascinating to watch how the wool came out and made all these different patterns. So I'm going to lay them all out and take a photograph so you can see, and I'll put it on my live stream, and you can see all the different patterns. So that was interesting. Oh yes, Andrew's saying, did you see this was so funny, did you see the Royal Mail delivered a Royal Mail van to the wrong Newport? Yes. So on the Isle of Wight, a new Royal Mail van was delivered to the Newport sorting office, except that it should have been delivered to Newport in Wales. I mean, if they can't even get their van delivered to the right place, how the hell are they going to get the envelopes into the right houses? It really was, I mean, how can you make such a stupid mistake? Anyway, yes, so it should have gone to Wales and it went to the Isle of Wight instead. Good night, Elizabeth. Elizabeth's gone to bed. Andrew went to B&M today and they had wool balls for £1 each in a box on the floor. And B&M, you can get cash back there. You can do it by buying a voucher for B&M store. Wait a minute, can you? There are different ways to do it. So when I shop in B&M, what do I do? Oh yes, I get I buy a voucher for B&M and then I use it in the store, because a lot of the stuff used to be only online only. But if you want to go in the store and spend in the store, I know it's not. No, I know what I do. it's from my reward wallet. So what happens when you do cashback, if you do top cashback, and if you want the link, let me know, because I can send it across, because there's a benefit to you and a benefit to me, and why shouldn't we all benefit? So it means I can get more wool. And so when you get the top cashback, you can either have it paid into your bank account, or you can put it in a reward wallet. Now, if you put it in the reward wallet, you can still get it. You can take it out as vouchers, but it becomes more valuable than it does just as cash. Now, it might be that I can take £20 cash into my bank, but it might actually be worth £25 cash if I use it in another store with a voucher. So once I learned that I could get more for it that way, I put it in my reward vouchers, and so they're building up nicely. Yes, there's a lot of things to learn with the top cashback. We're getting our heads really round it now. When we went to the Harvester, I think I told you this last weekend, we went to the Harvester as a family. The family here of 6 and me, we went to the Harvester a few weeks ago. And while we were there, my daughter asked how much the bill was going to be. And then she bought a top gift card that was for restaurants, which covered Harvesters. And for 7 of us dined. And for that meal, we got £16 worth of meal free. So basically, at least one of the meals was free, because of our top cashback. But we did it while we were there. We didn't want to get a voucher that was, because you don't know what your bill's going to be. So we didn't get the voucher in advance. We sit there on our phones and actually get it off the, do the process while we're sitting in the store. So B&M, yes, is part of cashback. Knitting keeps you away from your bad habit of smoking cigarettes. Excellent. Richard's saying, knew that would happen when it was sold to the Czech millionaire. You mean the post office? No, is that the Royal Mail? Is that what you mean? I don't know. I've got lost there. Yeah, Andrew, you see the leaflet with from B&M wool. It was originally £4.99. Now it's £1. Wow, that's good. But you know what? I've got so much wool, and Helen does such good deals on Isle of Wool. I get most of mine there. Andrew, it was a proposal, but they won't get it through. What, to get rid of the Royal Mail on Saturday? I'll see. Richard's saying, great broadcast, thank you. And deepest condolences, I presume that was fun when I was talking about Nikki. Oh, right, Richard's coming with the details. 12 noon, Newport Minster, Thursday the 6th of February is the time and date of Nikki's funeral. And then thank you, Richard. In the Newport Minster, wow, I'm not surprised. The Newport Minster is big, but I bet you anything it will be full. And that's probably why they've gone for the Minster, so that more and more people can get there. I hope they give us, I hope they have a good turnout. I'm sure they will. Thank you. Andrew says, who remembers the Hoover free flight program? I remember about it. I didn't know a lot about it. Lots of people never even got the free flight. Oh, there we go. So I bet your Ring doorbell is being used to its full potential while you are away. Maybe. It's nice to see me as well. Andrew says he sees Savers the shop still sell stamps, and you stick them into a book and save up to spend in store. I remember when supermarkets used to have these. My mum saved up the stamps in Morrison's and used them at Christmas. Morrison's are quite good on their cashback. I've got quite a lot, and they let you have it fairly quickly as well. So I've been shopping. I'm going to show you some bits you might have seen. If you've been looking at my Facebook page, you'll see what I bought earlier in the week that I'm going to show you. Carol's annoyed with herself now. For the second time, she's charged less postage than it costs to post these bargain clear stamps. I have loads, so it doesn't matter, but it's part of it. Sell it cheap and sell some postage that I don't have to buy. Excellent. You also put 10% on more to charity. That also comes off the postage cost. just adjusted a few things, but the stamps that sold have taken weeks to go. I thought they would end up at the charity shop, but never mind. That's, you've done it. Good. Carol also sold Tupperware for a while. She wasn't very good and couldn't drive, which didn't help. I think I spent more than I made. I think I probably bought more Tupperware than I made as well, Carol. Titch Nana Tig would love to knit hats for me. Okay, Titch, message me. And am I saying your name right? I hope I am, or is it a combination of yours and somebody else's name? I'm not quite sure. So message me. I'll let if you don't know. So anybody who wants to knit any of these hats, don't forget. I think before the Go Live Granny community did about 6,000. We've done about 6,000 hats in the past for Age UK Isle of Wight. We are going to. I did a lovely picture before we presented them previously. I've displayed them in a big Isle of Wight shape. I want to see if we can up our game and do something even better this time. But I keep thinking, how can we portray the Isle of Wight when I display all the hats before they give them over to the charity? So my brain is whirring away. I've got one or two ideas. It's got to be indicative that it's the Isle of Wight, so some way of representing the Isle of Wight and representing the hats. But anybody got any good ideas on that one, let me know, and we'll see what we come up with. We don't want to let other people know, other than our community, because we want to do it without anybody stealing the idea. But there you go. Right, anyone going to be knitting for Valentine's Day? Maybe we could knit some little hats that have hearts on them, possibly. Who knows? So yes, Titch, we'd love you to knit for us. There's a guy in Australia called Tupperware Pete, and he sells Tupperware and loves to sing about the products he's selling. Okay. Oh, Yvonne's in the house. Hello, Yvonne. Yvonne's a great knitter too. Susan's obviously tagged her and got her in. Thank you. You think you're going to the care home across the road this week to join a new knitting and crochet group with the residents? At least you'll get to talk to someone. Excellent. Good idea, Carol. Why not? Carol's saying the other Carol Ann Fowler, is saying how many more hats to get to your target and how long do you have to do them? So the deadline is the end of June. They all have to be at the Age UK Isle of Wight office at the end of June. The target for the whole, everybody who's knitting for the Age UK Isle of Wight, is 12,500. Now, there are lots of people knitting around the island. I've seen a lot of people doing it. Every time I put something up, I tag Age UK. So I've got it on, I don't know if I've got it on TikTok yet. I've got it on Instagram. I put something on Instagram. I put it on all the social media ones that I go on. And so the more we tag, the more people will see it. It's like letting more and more people see. And now several people, I'm delighted. Patricia Marsden popped, I don't know if she's in the broadcast, but she popped a message on my page the other day. She'd seen we were knitting and she's taken up her knitting after 2 years. Very sadly, she lost her husband, and obviously she's been going through an incredibly tough time. But I'm absolutely delighted to see that she's picking up her knitting needles, because I know that she will get a lot of comfort out of knitting. I do. If she's anything like me and a lot of knitters, we get huge comfort out of our knitting. And although she's had a very, very tough time, I actually was thrilled to see that she felt like doing her knitting again. So thrilled to bits, and she'd put a picture of a few hats. She was a great knitter in the past for any of the charities and things that we did. So Patricia, if you're watching the replay, I don't think you're in here, but if you're watching the replay, well done you. Yvonne said hi. In your next life you want to come back as an octopus, says Ailey, so that she can knit. With force. That's a good idea. The trouble is you might get your knitting needle and your wool all tied up. And she wants to know if Yvonne's coming back as an octopus. Yes, Lynn, Royal Mail Saturday delivery. New web sold to check, guys. Right, okay. Best wishes for Nikki's funeral, says Steve. He thinks the weather is going to be good for it. We've had we've had some quite bright days, haven't we, recently? Mind you, I'm not on the island, so I don't know what it's been. I know it snowed down there. I did see some stuff. And snow has been quite rare on the island. But it's climate's all changing, isn't it? Yvonne thinks she'd better come back as an octopus because she's never got enough time, and more hands would be great. Carol hopes that Yvonne is not sitting on the naughty step. Well, Andrew's come up with one of the ideas that I've had. So wait a minute, but I'll go back to Andrew's idea in a minute. Yvonne, so on, I said we met up with Kath and John and with Debs. I think we were all being a bit on the naughty step. I actually had a meal. So my bit of naughty stuff wasn't too naughty. I had a meal that didn't completely sit with Slimming World, but I only had one meal like that, and then I was back on plan straight away, and I still got my 3.5 stone award, so I was pleased. Andrew's saying Isle of Wight name spelled out in hats. That was one of the ideas I had, Andrew. Great minds think alike. Well done on that one. Yvonne's always on the naughty step. It's the best way to be. Yes, Tracy, that's a brilliant idea. Tracy's saying, what about displaying them on the Isle of Wight shape at the Ventnor paddling pool? That would be amazing. Do they dry their paddling pool out at all? I mean, is it always got water in it? I suppose we could do it. We'd have to have several of us there to make sure all the hats didn't fall in the water. We couldn't do it on a wet day or a blowy day, because so there's a lovely paddling pool in Ventnor that Tracy's talking about, and many years ago, I think it's probably been redone, but many years ago, when we were holidaying on the island, we used to love going on that. It's a paddling pool, but in the middle of the paddling pool there's a raised up area that is made like the Isle of Wight, so that's what Tracy's talking about, and so it would be quite good. We could display, we could see if we could display the hats on there. That's a good one, Tracy, thank you. Ailey's saying, for the people that don't know, Ailey is Scottish Gaelic for Helen. She remembers her church brother David, that's my brother, teaching Lynn how to say my name. That's it, right? Okay. Carol says she normally adds a free gift, but when you have to add more postage, you don't. The postage is the gift. Excellent. So what is it? Are you selling? Do you make and sell stuff, Carol? I'm not quite sure if I've got a firm hold of the wrong end of the stick here. So are you making things to sell, or what is it that you're selling? Just try and put me more in the picture. I do forget a lot of what people tell me, so I have to be reminded. In case you've told me and I've forgotten, I apologise. Yvonne, you hope you have a bottle of Bailey's on the naughty step with you. You hope you have woolly knickers. Now. This is naughty. This is now slipping into the realms of the naughtiness where you will get put on the naughty step, Carol, if you mention the word knickers. Okay. Yvonne says they usually empty the paddling pool until the summer holidays. Thank you, Yvonne. So that might be worth, obviously, or I'll need to try and find out for sure about that, because these have got to be in at the office by June. But if we had a huge collection of them, I could come over. I'd have to stay on the island a little while, wouldn't I? And I could come over and we could do that. And Yvonne, of course, Yvonne lives in Ventnor. It would be a good excuse to come and see you, Yvonne, wouldn't it? Right. So, Andrew's talking about his rainbow wig hat. So I haven't got my rainbow wig on at the moment. I had it on last weekend, I think, and on Friday. On Friday, before Friday, I'd seen that I'd shared some past broadcasts from years ago, and I'd made it for National Big Wig Day. I'd totally forgotten that until I saw my memories on Facebook, and I'd actually made that wig with all those curls for National Big Wig Day. Of course, it wasn't. National Big Wig Day is not about a big wig, really. It's about big wig people. It's got a different meaning, hasn't it? Big wig people. I mean, can somebody help me out with the explanation there? But Andrew loved my big wig, and he wanted one, so I made one. He had one, and he used to wear it at the kilt walk when volunteering. A woolly swimming costume. Your cats keep you warm. Okay. Ailey's on a good step, drinking iron brew, Scottish iron brew. Okay. So anyway, let me show you. So we have a family wedding coming up. So it's not that many weeks away now. And so it's going to be quite exciting. But of course, one needs a new outfit, especially when one is related to one of the people getting married. And so why not go for a nice outfit when I have lost all this weight? After all, most of my clothes don't fit me anymore because they're all too big. So my daughter decided that she and her friend who knows me, so she's got a friend who lives locally, she used to go to school in London together. So they both we all used to live in London, and it's funny that this very, very good friend of hers has now recently, well, I don't know how recently. So my daughter lives in Wiltshire, and this friend came to live not far away from her. But she didn't come straight here. She went. Her husband had a job. They were in Cyprus, and they've been all over the place. And then they're just not far away from here now, and it's just so nice. And that she's had this school friend all these years. And of course, I know the school friend. This school friend of hers was a bridesmaid to my daughter when she got married. So she was very keen to come in on the shopping trip because she lives locally. So we were going out on Thursday to see and get me an outfit. But I did when I came to my daughter's this time, I did bring 2 outfits from many years ago that I've never got rid of. I put on weight, but these ones stayed in the back of the cupboard. They were too nice to get rid of. And so I brought them with me as a backup in case we don't find something nicer. And so when we went out on our shopping trip, am I going to craft a hat to wear? I don't know whether I'm going to craft my own hat. I'm definitely going to have a hat. I want something, a statement piece, not just a tiny little thing, but a big. Okay, so I brought with me these couple of outfits, and I haven't put it on to show my daughter, but while we were out, I had put them in Navy Nora. And so then I revealed them. I told the girls that I'd got them. And I'd taken them with me in case we found a hat or something like that. And so I revealed them. And I revealed them because one of the outfits is the same colour as this. Now, I used to wear high heels, and really high heels would be the better thing to go with the dress. But if I start wearing high heels, I am going to fall over and break my neck or something else, and I'm not willing to do that. So I now have to wear flatty shoes. So these are the same colour as I didn't go looking for a pair of shoes like this. But look, sparkly shoes, and the outfit is sparkly too. I'm not going to reveal the out if that's the one I wear. I might not wear it, might find something else, but at the moment that's what it looking like it's going to be. But I am going to have some nice jewelry and a wonderful hat and probably some sort of shawl because it's a March wedding. So wait a minute, let's have a look. Big wig people slang in UK for VIPs. Thank you, Richard. Yes, so VIPs. Big wig is the slang for that. I knew somebody would help me out. Wait a minute. Oh, Steve's permanently on the naughty step. Yes, and Steve, you weren't part of the community when they were sending everybody to the naughty step. It did start out by somebody saying knickers, and I said I would banish them to the naughty step if they started using that sort of language in my broadcast. All a lot of happy banter. Hope it didn't really offend anybody because it wasn't meant to. Right, so let's have a look. Right, let's have a look. Andrew, Scotland won the rugby with a brilliant score. Did England win their rugby game? I don't know. I didn't even know there was rugby going on. I was too busy trying to do my my train repay. Anyway, so let's go back to my shoe. Look, very nice and bright and sparkly, and not for the wedding, but I have been wanting a bag. Let me show you. Wait, I'll just go and get another bag. Hang on. Whoops, I'm just sitting on all the smoothie hats. Hang on, folks. Just a minute. Whoa. So I'm back now. Look. So when I travel backwards and forwards, I need to be able to have my ticket. If I've got physical tickets, I need to be able to get those in and out of my bag. I need to get my radar key out for the toilet and to disabled toilets when I'm traveling. I need to have things handy, but I didn't want a very big bag, but I was using this little bag. Okay, so this one goes over, just goes over. So when I've got everything loaded on Navy Nora, I will still have this bag over me. But it's got this little pocket here, and it's not very big. And it has a zip that went right down. That one went down that side, and this one went down this side. Well, the tags come off that one, so it's very hard to move that one. And if I don't have it right up here, things fall out the side of the bag. Well, recently I bought something else, but I can't find it now. Wait a minute. What am I doing? Oh no, hang on. Oh dear, wait a minute, folks. Oh, well, I seem to have lost. Oh no, it's here. So I bought myself a new purse recently because I was struggling. I had a little wallet thing that I don't know where that is either. That had my credit cards and my loyalty cards and all those things. But it was getting harder and harder to get them out. So I bought a purse where you could, put them in there like that. And my Slimming World cards in there as well. And then, occasionally you want a little bit of real money, what I call real money. So I got this. I found this purse in Bon Marché, and I just liked it. It was just one of those things that I just spotted and thought, oh, I think I want that. So I bought this to sort out all my money issues. But of course, it fills this bag right up. And then it makes it harder too to get my radar key. So the radar key for the disabled toilets is quite big. Let me show you. This is my radar key. So that's for the disabled toilets, and that goes in there. But if this is all tight, and you're going to giggle, I don't know what vision you'll have in your head, but sometimes when I need the loo, I need the loo. I don't need to mess about and go here and there and everywhere. I need the loo. So, of course, I need to unlock the loo if it's a disabled loo. So I've got to go in here and get this out of here. And usually it's so tight in there, I can't get it out. And then, sorry, I shouldn't do this toilet talk maybe, but I can see that it's very comical. So I've got into the door. The doors are usually quite heavy, so I've then got to pull the door out, get me and Navy Nora in, and then make sure the key goes back in before I do what I need to do in the toilet. Because if I don't, I will lose the key. But sometimes while I'm stopping to flap and do all this, I might not quite be there in time. End of story. Too much information. So I have been looking. Oh, I better take that out again. I have been looking for another bag. But I don't want a big heavy bag, but I wanted a bag with lots of pockets. So this bag, I found one. I saw one the other day. I just thought, I just like that. Where I was buying the shoes, we were in an outlet store, an outlet place, and these, cheaper than they should be. cheaper than their recommended price. And I just loved them. Yes, so that was not bad at all. They were £15 less than their recommended price, so that was really good. Carol saying maybe I should make myself a smoothie hat for the wedding. How about a hat with lots of smoothie hats on it? Maybe not. I don't really want to upstage anybody, or put the wrong slant on this thing. So anyway, I saw this bag, but I didn't buy it straight away because I wasn't entirely sure. But I saw all those zips and I thought, oh yes, I don't want to fill it full because it will be too heavy. But that bit is great for putting my knitting needles and my wool in when I'm traveling. And it's got 2 pockets in there, one zippy one and one non-zippy one. And then there's a pocket there, and a pocket there, and another pocket there. So I think that's plenty of space for being able to. So the key issue, of course, now is not going to be an issue, because if I keep it in that bottom one there without much else in that pocket, I can pull it out, throw it quickly in without having to struggle to get it in because it won't be tight. And I think that I'll let you know when I travel on Thursday whether the plan works. Next Sunday, I'll let you know. Don't forget to ask me. So I was very pleased with those things. Did I buy anything else? I can't remember. But anyway, so that's where I'm. That was my shopping trip. I was well pleased. I never expected to see some shoes that would match the dress that I think I'm going to wear for the wedding. Never, because of the colour, I never ever expected that it would be a good match. Anyway, we'll see how we go with that. It was Carol saying she bought so much card making stash she lost her mojo a lot after Sean died. Then dad, mother-in-law, and then mum. Oh, I'm not surprised you lost your mojo. That would make anybody lose their mojo, wouldn't it? And so there aren't many people to make for now. Oh, bless you. You were making and selling cards in a craft cooperative sort of shop in Bradford on Avon, but they started getting very picky and wanted a range of 6 varieties of a card, which would have driven me mad. Yes, the whole idea of doing crafting is do what you want when you want to do it, not being told like that. It's a creative thing. I would be very, very bored. So it would have driven you mad. And then Sean got sick, so you said you couldn't do it. You also used to run a challenge blog, but I open boxes now and wonder what on earth and then it stops. Stop. So yes, Carol thinks I should wear a smoothie hat for the wedding. A nice colour, Lynn, and Yvonne likes my pretty shoes. Thank you. Ailey says her little legs are short and fat. She usually loses weight in her legs in the summertime when you walk more outside with your walker frame. Sparkly, comfy shoes. Nice, says Carol there. So yes, they are. And Heather loves my shoes. Do you know what? If I went out looking for a pair of shoes like that, I never would have found them. We walked in this shop and the shoes were sitting over there. And of course, my eyes just lit on the sparkle. I just couldn't refuse them, could I? They had my name on them. So that was good. I'm going to, if I do, I'm pretty sure that that's the outfit I'm going to go with. I haven't tried it on for my daughter to see. It's many, many, many years since I've worn it. So and I did wear it for a wedding before, but as my daughter said, most of the people at this wedding will not have a clue that I wore it many years ago to a wedding. And it's one of those things that doesn't go out of fashion. But after the wedding, you'll see the pictures, but you're not going to see it before. So, have to wait. You have to wait. A purple smoothie hat to fit my head. I don't think so, Carol. I don't think that's quite the look I'm going for. Do you think? I don't think so. I want those, the mother of the bride, the mother of the groom type hats, one of those sort of things. Did you say that Andrew was never naughty? I don't know. Andrew's saying radar keys are so handy and helped you so much over the years. Yep. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a radar key. And it was when I was having shenanigans years ago, when my daughter lived in London, and I used to go up to London and then travel across London and try and get on the tube. And then when I started having to use a mobility aid and trying to do those things, I was having issues trying to get into disabled loos and all sorts of things. No, into the loo with my luggage or my walker. And then somebody in my community gave me a radar key and told me all about it. So that was brilliant. Yvonne saying we all have more craft stuff than we will ever use. I know. I mean, my house, my flat back on the Isle of Wight looks like a wool shop. I have got Kallax units all down one side of my lounge and across the other side, and they are practically all full of wool. Not quite so full because I bought some here. So I'm sitting in this bedroom in my daughter's house that I've got at the moment, and it looks like a wool shop in here now too, because because of all this knitting. I didn't want to go out and buy more wool here when I had so much wool at home. So I have bought loads of wool with me. I've got to stop knitting smoothie hats and make another cardigan for one of my granddaughters for the wedding. So that's got to be done shortly, and I've got to make them some hats to go with their new coats. So that I need to do that this week, because I am going to see them. So I'll be on more shenanigans and different train lines soon, in a couple of weeks. So I'll be doing that. So I've got to make those. So I have to stop knitting smoothie hats and do those. Otherwise, I'll be in trouble. You do more crochet than anything now. You have sewing to do, and both machines need fixing. You need to drive them to Bristol and have been unwell with anxiety for a year, which seems to be due to food. But you're better than you were, and hope you can get them to Bristol. Excellent, Carol. Well, I hope you can, and it's nice to know that perhaps you're on the mend from all of that. That's lovely. Andrew said he loved the naughty step as we had a picnic with snacks and yummy food. And for anybody watching in, this was all imaginary. This is all what went on in the Go Live Granny community live streams during COVID, when we couldn't do much else. You could put a paper clip through the broken. Oh, I never thought of that. I could put a paper clip through there, through this, but actually I think this is going to become a bit obsolete now, because I'm going to use the other bag because it's going to be much easier. You have a green tartan Harris purse and handbag to match excellently. That is a large key, Heather. It is a large key. That's right. Well, you can't, shouldn't be able to lose a key that size, should you? I bet you I can. Do you think we can have an Easter hat parade online again? It was so much fun. Yes, I think we can, Carol. So for those of you watching in who weren't part of the community back like we were in COVID, because during COVID, and I used to make all sorts of these knitted things, and people wanted a theme every fortnight for the knitting. The way that I displayed it, because I sit here in front of you like that, and not a lot of display space, I would display the stuff I made on my head. So I'd get a hat, and I'd start with a hat that was plain hat, and then add all the things I knitted on as we went along. And then I suppose it's because we had all these different hats going on that somebody said, could we have an Easter hat parade, an online Easter hat parade? So yes, let's do that. So if any of you want to make your Easter hats, and actually, you see, I've got the facility to bring any of you into the broadcast if you wanted to be in the broadcast to show off your Easter hat, or we could just put a lot of pictures up on the Go Live Granny community to see. So if you'd like to be part of our Easter hat parade, let me know. I think I'm going to have to look back at all of that, because so many of these things, I've forgotten so much of what we did. But most days now, I go and look at my memories on my Facebook page, and all these things keep popping up. And that was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, all these things that we did. That's how I knew. That's how I found out, remembered, because I hadn't remembered that I'd made the wig. I knew I'd made it, but I didn't know I'd made it for Big Wig Day. And it's when I'd learned to crochet, because I only learned to crochet when I was about 66, 68, something like that. And so, I haven't crocheted for many, many, years like I have done knitting. And I love making all those curls. So I just, made the wig. And then I made Andrew a wig. And then Paul was in the broadcast just now earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but I made him a wig. He wanted one for, I did a blue one for, I think it was running, he was doing there's some balloons going up across the screen. I wonder how somebody did that. I don't know how all these things work. So he was running a marathon, or I don't know, it was a full marathon or whatever, but he was running for prostate cancer, which of course is the charity is blue. So I've made all sorts of wigs. I made a green one for St. Patrick's Day. I think I've got that one around somewhere because St. Patrick's Day will be coming up and I might be here, so I might need to wear a green wig. Like you do. Andrew has a small bag he uses, which came from IKEA, normally full once you had your phone and space for exit. Oh yes, of course, my phone was the other thing that, when I'm getting on and off trains, I have another little bag that I put my phone in. But of course, I need to take photographs of all these people who help me. And if the phone's in a bag there that's difficult to get out, I can't get the photographs for the social media. So this, again, one of these pockets will be for the phone, and it will be easier to put in and out. Steve's saying he's have an Asda bag for life. That's the closest he can get to owning a bag. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Richard says he wears a lanyard for radar. Okay, yeah, but you know what? You see, if I have too much stuff hanging around my neck, then when I start knitting, I mean, at one point I used to have headphones, and I used to listen to my phone things when I was on the train. But then I'd end up with, I wear scarves, so I'd get the scarf and that all caught up. If I've got the bag round me, I've usually got the bag and the scarf caught up. If I have headphones, then that gets caught up as well. And then if I've got my knitting, well, you can bet your bottom dollar that I end up totally tied up. And it could be dangerous. So, I keep saying to the kids, though, the family here, I'd be dangerous if I got a brain, because I keep forgetting things. And, I'd be dangerous with a brain. Why not get a man bag, Steve, says Andrew. I've got a Tesco's one. Oh, right, there we are. You've got different Asda and Tesco's. Carol, I'm going to put you on the naughty step for saying things like that. I'm not going to repeat what you said. Wait a minute, let's go back. So, hang on. It jumped. The thing jumped. Harris is an island where your dad was born. The McLeod clan come from Harris. Okay. You've never had one of those, Andrew. What would I put in it? A man bag. Well, man things, I suppose. Lynn is the new Mary Poppins with her bag of tea. Yes, but I do not have a lamp standard in my bag. I suppose I could try putting... Now, you might wonder what I've done there. This is not a bottle of wine. I assure you it is not a bottle of wine. It is an empty Schlur bottle. And it's got 0 across it because it was good for Slimming World, because it's got 0. It's a 0 calorie drink, and any of the ones that are 0, no added sugar, are okay for Slimming World. So, but it just happens to be on there and it's empty. Steve will put his sandwiches in there. It could be your lunchbox, dear, couldn't it? Carol says she also wants to sell and move to the coast, and wanted to 2 years ago, then realised you still had a problem with the roof that has taken a long time to get sorted. But they also don't want to move all the craft stuff if I ever manage it. That would be my issue if I ever have to move. It would be all the craft stuff, so much stuff. And of course, those of you who've been watching my broadcasts, more latterly, or my social media, you will know that I have been putting a lot of IKEA units in to house all the craft stuff. So there we go. Andrews uses his for his phone, his money, and his other stuff. That's his bag. Tracy's asking if I'm back on the island for a while Thursday. I'm back for a few days, Tracy. I was wondering whether I could catch up with you. So I'll message you privately, Tracy, because it's time that we did catch up. So Carol says we could put our photos of the Easter hats on the Go Live Granny community page. Yes, we could. That would be lovely. Let's do that. So Andrew's saying it annoys him that people buy outfits for school proms, weddings, etc., and spend so much money for it to be used once. Good idea to reuse outfits again. Absolutely. And as my daughter said, nobody would ever remember. One or two might if I point it out to them, but of course I'm not going to wear it with the same accessories I had all those years. It was, I tell you what, it was 19 years ago I wore it, and it's it's one of those classic things that doesn't go out of fashion, and it's got sparkle. I didn't do as much sparkle then as I do now, but you know, and it wasn't an outfit that did cost me a fair bit, because I bought it. I was struggling, you know. I mean, there wasn't a lot of choice. I just suddenly lost a lot of weight, and I needed an outfit for a wedding, and that was the one I got. So anyway, my daughter got a prom dress from one of my granddaughters for, I think, about a tenner in a charity shop. So that was good. And my other granddaughter, she bought herself a wonderful dress, you know, long dress like that, again in a charity shop. She bought it with her own money that she'd earned, so that was nice. So Andrew says, saw a sign once and it said, one hobby is to buy craft items and look at it and stack at home. One hobby is to buy craft items and look at it and stack at home is more common than using them. I think a lot of us crafters do the same sort of thing. Just look at it all. I need to be doing some more paper crafting. I've done loads of knitting recently, but there are some bits I've got to make for the wedding. I've been asked if I will do some craft bits for the wedding. Again, those are things that you will see after the wedding, because I don't want to spoil, obviously, anything before the wedding. Did you know that you can get an app that asks hotel, cafes, etc. to use their loo, saying you can't wait? I'll find the link if you like. I haven't. Oh, excellent, Carol. I didn't know there was an app that, you know, for those of us who perhaps can't wait. And of course, on the Isle of Wight, they've closed so many of our toilets down, so it could be a bit of a disaster for some people who, like me, need to go perhaps a bit more than anybody else. I think that's too much toilet talk again. But thanks for that. I know what you mean. A Scottish man bag is called a sporran, Andrew. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You could use your earbuds, Lynn, instead of wired headphones. Those little, yes, use earbuds. I have got some somewhere, but they're at home, and I wonder whether do they stay in all right? I'd be frightened of them falling out, but I would like to listen to some of my podcasts and things while I'm on the train with all these journeys I'm doing. How many times do you wear your kilt and sporran, Andrew? Says Ailey. I don't know. It must be blooming cold to wear a skirt, and I know where you're going, Carol. Stop. That's going to be naughty, that conversation. That will land you on the naughty step permanently. I know what you're like, Carol. Ailey, there is a man who works in a shop near Yvonne who wears a kilt. It looks amazing. Andrew says he doesn't have one. He would need to hire it. And Steve says he wouldn't be able to wear a kilt as he goes up a ladder. Oh, no, I don't think that would be a very good idea, Steve. You would certainly be the talk of the town, but maybe in a way that you didn't want to be. Dear, oh dear. I like seeing the tourists coming off the ships with kilts on for arriving in Scotland. That's nice. Heather saying she started cutting out the pieces to make the bridal bandstand for the wedding she's at in April. And so Heather and I both bought the same thing. It was a kit to make a bridal bandstand, and it's got a gift box in the bottom. And we both bought the same thing. We compared notes, and we're both going to a wedding, so we're both going to do that. So that's interesting. Andrew's saying you can get a card for people who need to use toilets when not available. My pal uses her one all the time, and it saves so much time. Well, yes, you know, something needs to be done, because there's a lot of people in the same situation, and it can be quite difficult sometimes. You can't get to wait to see everyone's Easter hat. Well, there you are. And Steve has just sent himself to the naughty step. Yes, I think you have, Steve. What a good job you found us over here on Facebook when we didn't arrive over there on YouTube. Oh dear, oh dear. So anyway, I think we must be coming to the end of the broadcast. I've been on for 2 hours. I was quite tired before I started tonight, but I loved sitting with my daughter, and we decided that she probably would go to bed while I was streaming, and we would not watch another hour of Traitors tonight. So we'll look forward to that tomorrow night. We might watch a couple of episodes. We're on replay from series 1 at the moment. Ailey, I'm not going to read that out, but I'll put it up there, but I'm not quite sure that I want to read that out. That's Ailey's humour there. Richard says, as true Scotsmen, only wear kilt on own. There we go. All right. So, folks, I think I would like to put all these smoothie hats back in the bag and tidy up the bed so I could go to bed soon. But I'm going to go down and have a drink and maybe a little bit. Maybe I'll knit 1 or 2 more smoothie hats before I go to bed. You'll just make room. Yeah, that's it, Steve. Make room for Ailey on the naughty step, because she certainly needs to go there after that last comment. Andrew sent. You sent me a link to the Just Can't Wait bladder card. Oh, excellent! Thank you for using in shops, etc. Staff can't refuse, and if you do, you report. If they do, you report them to charity. Okay, thank you, Andrew. I didn't know about that. That's very, very useful to know. My community here have taught not just me, but all of us so many different things. Lots of things I didn't even know. When I first started broadcasting, I didn't know that I could book a ticket all the way through from Ryde seafront all the way through to wherever I was going. 1 ticket all the way. I used to buy a ticket to get across the water, then I'd buy another ticket from here to there and another ticket from there. And somebody said you can do that, you can get a through ticket all the way. And of course, there's so much cheaper like that. That's been amazing. Then it was somebody else in my community who told me about the money back for the refunds, when I kept getting all the shenanigans and all those things. So I've had more back in money than they've actually kept from me, I'm sure. I mean, I pay every time I buy the ticket, but then I've had so much back. I mean, so I did a claim today. That was the one from when I was going, which way? I was going back to the island after Christmas in January, beginning of January. And that was that I could only do that up till midnight tonight. So that one's gone in. Then I've got 2 more to do. And I when I finished that one, I was looking for I knew I'd got 2 more to do, and I started doing the next one, looking for it. And then I was looking at the wrong journey because I hadn't sort of made mental notes about which ones I'd got delayed on. Or I might have got the mental notes, but not written it much down. But of course, because I document it so well, it was easy to find the information because, if I'm traveling to my daughter's, I will be telling her what time I'm going to arrive. And then there'll be another message in there saying, oh, no, missed the train or didn't catch that train or something happened. And then there'll be notes in my chats with them. And of course, I put it on social media, don't I? That, oh, well, that train went without me. So, have to wait for another. So it's all there documented. But I knew it was one. I knew that I had to claim for the one going back to the island on the 5th of January. And I thought the one coming back on the 8th was going to be a claim as well. When I looked, I hadn't been delayed on that one. And then I knew the one that going up to see my son this time. That's when I got the red signal that was the lights were red for two minutes, and that meant we clicked into the hour. So I've got that one to do. I'm going to do that one tomorrow. And then I thought, well, I'm sure that there was another one, and I'd sort of totally forgotten. But there was another one, and the reason I couldn't find it was because it wasn't it was that silly one, or I didn't find it straight away. It was that silly one where bought the ticket online, but I had real tickets. I had to go and get them out of the machine. Do you remember? Or was it that one? Yes. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, so I've got another one to do anyway. I don't know why they charge you, Lynn. They should know that they will be paying you back. Absolutely. But the one the Avanti West Coast, that was amazing. We claimed that on Friday, just before midnight. Friday, not this Friday, the Friday before. We claimed it just before midnight. We just in time. You know, we were struggled a bit. Tristan was helping me, and we got it done just before midnight. Clicked over, so we got that one, and it was in my bank by about Wednesday. They sent me an email on a Monday saying, yes, we agree this. And I have had the money in. So, you know, but that was very quick. They're not always that quick. So I did that. I claimed from Avanti West Coast. The others are from Great. It's very tricky to know who to claim from, because sometimes I'm being served by people from Great Western Railway, but it's actually a cross-country train that's coming through and is the one that's delayed, and you never know quite who to claim from. I did put a claim in once, and they said, Great Western Railway said, no, we're not doing this, but they said we have sent it on to the people who will do it, and I did get the claim back. I didn't have to reclaim it, redo it, which was good because I was running out of time, and I did get it, but they sent it on to the right people. So you write journeys in a diary for trains? Yes, I write journeys in a diary for trains. Yes, I think it was. Oh, yes, I think I have put some. I've got a great big diary here, but I don't really carry this one around because it's a very big diary. But I was putting all the information in there today from all the bits, collating it on the. So I think I need to write in there more, don't I? Thank you much for the update and chat, Lynn. Sweet dreams and restful sleep to me. Thank you. Could you get someone to cut the Isle of Wight shape out and then place the hats in the shape and maybe make the Isle of Wight letter too? Well, Andrew, now you just started a whole new conversation, because I am going for something new in the craft world, something I told myself I didn't need. And sorry, if you thought I was going, you've just opened. I wasn't going to discuss this tonight, but as Andrew has said, could you get someone to cut the Isle of Wight shape out and then place the hats in the shape and maybe make the Isle of Wight letters too? Andrew, have you been reading my mind? I think you've been looking into my brain. These were all the things I had in my head earlier. You must have known. Or they say great minds think alike, don't they? So when I went up last weekend to be with my daughter and my son and his fiance, my future daughter-in-law there, she has got a cricket machine. I don't know if you call it cricket or cricket. Some people say it's cricket, some people say it's cricket. And it's one of those machines that cuts out letters, cuts out boxes, does all those sort of things. Now, I own die cutters and loads and loads and loads and loads of dies, and that's why I needed more storage and that. And you either wind them through a machine or you put them through an electric machine and you cut all these things out, but you have to store all the dies and all the stamps and all that. When my future daughter-in-law had this I'll call it a cricket, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, and I kept saying to myself, I don't want one of those. No, I don't want one of those. I can manage without. I've got my dies and I've got all this and that and that. Well, I think I told you I needed to make some. I'm doing some crafting for the wedding, and so I asked her to show me if we could do it on that machine, because I happened to be there and I needed to get it done. We needed to do a mock-up to show the bride, and she did it in seconds. We found what we wanted, and I said, can you do this? And in seconds on this machine, without having to put in Heather, you know, I'm thinking of you doing that bandstand and all that, and me doing that bandstand. this machine, I don't know if you've seen those machines, Heather, but they are amazing. And she cut out what I needed. She found it online somewhere, and she put it down and cut it out. And I had made it up in a matter of minutes. Not all that cutting out and everything. And so I just could see the potential of this machine. So of course I then thought, well, I want one. I want one of these. So their brother do them, Silhouette do the Cameo. I know more about it this week. I didn't know much about it. I thought, no, they're expensive machines. I shouldn't buy any more craft stuff. Although I'm my own boss and I buy what I want and I spend my money on what I want. As long as I can afford it. So anyway, I did sort of start looking at the YouTubes on them, on the YouTube channels, and seeing what the different ones were. And then, as if by magic, well, I don't know what, but Craft Stash, who is one of the craft companies I buy from quite often, they had a sale, and they had the Silhouette Cameo 4 was about a big jump down. I mean, they're still not the cheap machines, but it was on a very good offer. But I wasn't going to spend money unless I knew how it worked and what it did and was it really going to be worth it. So I sat and watched loads and loads of tutorials. And Gaz, who I know through the craft world, but I also met him in real life because he lives on the Isle of Wight. He told me more about them, and he answered some of the questions I wanted to know. And so I was looking at this one, and I've been looking at it thinking, you know, the one that was on this offer, and I was thinking of buying it. And then I was offered another machine, a brother that does very similar stuff, and I was offered it for nothing from somebody very, a very good person who offered it to me for nothing. Wow. That was amazing. And it is actually, I'm going to get it this week. And so I couldn't believe it. I was just so thrilled. And funnily enough, Andrew, it does those sorts of things. It cuts out the shapes. We just need to program it in, those sort of things, all those letters. At the moment, when I do anything with lettering, I have to get my little die of a letter A and put it on the card and roll it through the machine and hope it doesn't slip and all that. These do it just, it's amazing. So yes, Andrew, I will be. Could someone cut that? Yes. The someone will be me when I get that machine at the end of the week. And I literally was thinking about the Isle of Wight shape, making a shape like that. And I was literally thinking about the letters of the Isle of Wight as well. It's amazing that you come up with the same thoughts that I had. So that is amazing. So watch this space. We'll see, You can't get better than free, can you? But also, I had been thinking about getting the machine, so having one on the island and one up here, because especially so wasn't buying two, I was having one, and then I thought more about it and I looked more into it. I think I'm getting a little bit more sensible, maybe, because I was thinking that's a Cameo 4. They're selling it. How long's it been around? Well, it's been out for several years. So I thought, oh, there must be a Cameo 5 then. So I looked up, there was a Cameo 5. The Cameo 5 that I saw was not any more expensive than the sale price on the Cameo 4. Then I thought, well, if they've got a Cameo 5, it's probably a better machine than the Cameo 4 because it will be updated. So I'm not going to buy the Cameo 4. I'm going to get the brother and see what that does and take it from there, not spend any money at the moment on it. So that's what I thought. So anyway, Richard says, I'm going to have to go in a minute because I probably need to go get a drink. Richard says Avanti better than cross country. Anyway, cross country are the worst ones I've been on so far. Not keen on cross country. And get that, you can't even plug your phones in on. Sorry. Hang on, I have got a bottle of drink here. Let me just have a little swig. It's not very ladylike. Sorry, that was not ladylike at all. But it was necessary to finish the conversation. So I forgot what the conversation was. Oh, yes. On Great Western Railway, usually there's somewhere right where you're sitting to plug in your machines, you know. Cross country didn't have any. Oh, there was a place right by the door. If you stood up by the door, you could plug a phone in. But otherwise there wasn't. But apparently they're 25 years old and they're going to be updated this year. So anyway, right, let's just, we need to wrap up now anyway. Does anyone shop with Temu online? Yes, I've shopped on Temu. I've had some good craft bits off of there. Very, very economic. Night, everyone, says Steve. Night, Steve. Night, Heather. Night, Lynn. I meant Slim Diary, Lynn. Sorry, I forgot. I'll have to look back at that. You've heard some bad stories of people getting money taken from Temu months after purchases. This put you off using Temu. I've never had an issue with Temu, Andrew. Temu is also a top cashback retail store. So not only do you get the really good prices, but you also get money cash back as well. So that's amazing. And I haven't. Heather says now she's not going. She was going until I mentioned craft stuff. That machine. That's, yeah, there we go. Whoops, says Andrew. Rain, go away, come back another washing day. Right. Heather's saying it is pronounced cricket, and just like I said it. So cricket spelled as the game of cricket, but it's actually spelled CRICUT, I think. So that's why some people might call it cry cut. I don't know. Anyway, however it's pronounced, and Heather says I'm right. I want one. No, I don't want one. I don't want a cricket because I'm being given a brother. Yvonne says she bought a Cricket Joy a couple of years ago and she's never had it out of the box. You must have a go. Oh dear. There's a lady who does a lot of tutorials, but there were tutorials more for the brother machine that I'm going to get, that I'm going to be given. And her first lesson is about taking your machine out of the box. And she said, there's no point in any of you having all these machines and you leave them in the box, she said. So she said, I'm going to make you get it out of the box. I know what it's like, though. You're in your nightie now, hairnet and bunny slippers. Oh, too much information, Steve. Richard's saying, is that bandstand for Naughty Knits concerts? It might be. Just be careful with the symbols. You get your coat off to the naughty step, Richard, and you're a bunny in Chinese horoscope. Well, hop off then. Hop off to the naughty step. Ailey's got her Christmas Santa pajamas on. In time you pack that away until Christmas 2025. Oh, I think I've got an. Oh no, it's not. That's my jumper. I bought myself a nightie. I was going to show you, but it's not here. A nice warm furry nightie. Not furry, but fluffy. I bought it. It was a very good price in Bon Marché. So that's why I got that. But it's not here. I did see it on the bed and then I think it's here. It was a Christmassy one. And it was after Christmas, but it was in the sale. So that's why I bought it, because it doesn't matter, does it? You know. It's a velvet one. Look, it's navy and it's velvet. Hang on. Let me show you. Look, it's got a lovely little robin on with a tartan hat. Look. But it's nice and warm and velvet, and it was a very good sale price. So yes, it was generous, absolutely generous of that person to offer me that for free. So generous, and I should be able to get it this week. So I was really, really thrilled to bits, you know. And the thing is, I will make very good use of it, and I will use it a lot for charity stuff as well. Right, wait a minute, let's go back. Oh, hang on. Right, your learning disability can't understand what you're all talking about. I'm totally sorry, Ailey, if we've lost you. Sorry. Heather saying swig away because well, when I couldn't get the live stream up and running quickly, I hadn't got time to go and get a drink as well, which I should have done. No plug sockets. Yes, that is stupid. Hello, Andrea. I didn't see you come in there. Is it a scan and cut machine? Yes, it's those sort of machines. There lots of them, aren't they? They scan and they cut. So it is. Yes, the brother, from what I understand. So I know that a lot of these have to be hooked up to a computer, and I am thinking about having a laptop, but I don't want to spend a lot of money on a laptop. But because I'm there and I'm here going backwards and forwards, I just want something simple. And then I might do or I might not, because I do a lot on my phone. But I was thinking if I have one of those machines, I might need one. But then the brother apparently has, you can do a lot. It's got a screen on it that you can do a lot with the screen without being hooked up to a laptop. So I'm just learning all these different things. So do you have a scan and cut machine, Andrea? Richard's never had any trouble with Temu. Andrew uses Shein, which is very similar to. I haven't bought anything off Shein yet. I'm a bit wary about clothes because I always find I prefer to actually try them on when I buy. But my granddaughters have had a lot of stuff from Shein. They had stuff at Christmas, and one of the girls has just got a dress for the wedding that's just come, and it looks very nice. So it seems to be fine. I know a lot of people who go that route as well. Temu has been checked by your support team for safety for clients to buy from. Excellent, Aileen. That means you don't get caught. Right. Carol has to go wash and go to bed. You're an hour late already. I am so sorry. So sorry. We're 2 hours and 21 minutes in now. But next week I will try and start at 8:15 again. I've tried not to. Oh, I'll be at home anyway, so I won't be sitting with my daughter watching TV. Doesn't mean that I won't have an issue trying to get online, but there you go. So an hour later, you still have 3 packages to stick stamps onto. Okay, night, Carol. Lovely to have you in here. Thank you so much. Carol's got her cocoa. Just need to get your PJs on. Okie dokie. I'm not talking about a heavy roller doing the cricket pitch. I'm pitching about a cricket, but not the same sort of cricket. That's a nice robin. You like my robin? Lucky for me. Do you mean snoozy choc like in latest wallet comment? Sorry, you've lost me a bit there, Richard. Susan's saying, Ailey, I think Lynn I've looked and produced massive shopping baskets of things I'd like, but never checked out for that very reason. Absolutely, yes. And you know what? Do you know, when I was you just saying shopping basket took me back. You know, I said I was watching a lot of my own live streams back from when we were in COVID. I was watching one the other day and I was asking you all, I was saying, which aisle do you think I'm going down in the supermarket? I don't know if any of you remember this, but each fortnight we had a theme, And one time the theme was supermarkets. And so then it was when I was making the big wig. That's right. And I said, which aisle do you think I'm down in the supermarket? And it turned out I was down the party aisle. This was an imaginary supermarket we had. And but we were making things that could go in a supermarket. That's right. We use supermarket as a theme. So I might knit cakes, or I might knit, a sandwich or something. But I didn't. I crocheted a wig, and that was from the party aisle. And it was such fun. I forgot so many of those things that we did in COVID, and it was just fun. So I've posted a lot of those live streams on my Facebook page. So when when each day I look at my memories from all the years gone by at the same date, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. And I've been watching and just remembering all those fun times we had. So good laptops throughout your Chromebooks from £39. Okie dokie. Hang on, it's jumped again. And Steve saying you can buy a Chromebook, Alfie, you have one, they hardly ever go wrong. Okay. I was going to chat with my son about various things. Black, red with tartan on here. Yeah, that's it. That was the robin with the tartan. Ailey, I did love to holiday in London for a few days, but want to do the bus and boat tour, but not the duck one. Would like to see a couple of shows and also do the London Eye. Oh, no, you won't get me on the London Eye. I don't like heights. I like my feet on the ground. So won't be yet, and well, sadly, and plus need to find someone to go with. Well, I will not be going up to the London Eye with you, Susan. That is not an experience I wish to have. Thank you very much. I hate heights. Shein is great to use, folks, just like Temu. Apparently you have purchased from Shein and had no problems. You purchased my holiday clothes on it for Corfu last year. This is Andrew. Mum had to return Shein clothes and return them, no props. Okay, that's good to know as well. Susan saying Yvonne and Neely, likewise, you used to love iron brew and ties and haven't had either for years. Andrea's got a scan and cut machine, but she's saying, hang on, wait a minute, that jumped again. Andrea's saying it's amazing but still learning. Steep learning curve, but one I'm willing to go on, because I think if you have a scan and cut, you then don't need to keep buying more dies, do you? They become obsolete, really, because you can scan everything into the machine, and you don't need so much storage either, do you? And even when I was thinking of buying that one, the one that was on offer in the Silhouette Cameo, it was on offer at Craft Stash for 260 something. Its original price was 450, something like that. And so I was thinking that actually, you see, some of the die sets I've bought, the complex ones have been about £30. So if you're buying a machine, so it was less than 300, but so by the time you've bought 10 die sets, you've paid for a scan and cut machine. That's what went through my mind, but I'm not going to buy that one because I've been offered a free one. Right. Let's have a look. Good night. Blessings for a happy week, says Ailey. Hang on, this keeps jumping. So Richard says, the aisle, and which one? That's like which? Oh yeah, which one? That's like which window today in Play School? Oh yes, you always like the round window. So Play School, Richard and I go back, years and years. We used to see all these things on Play School, and it was a children's program way back then, and they had different shaped windows. So there we go. So Carol saying, Susan saying, Carol, take care. Andrea, Susan saying she'd love one of those scan and cut machines. Right. Oh, Carol's got to go. She's got to go and take her insulin. Yes, don't forget to do that. You can get distracted when you're having so much fun, but you may go off the naughty step to go and get your insulin. Okay. So lots of nights here. Richard loves heights. No, scared to stiff. And Whoops, it's jumped again. Carol must have asked a question, maybe about I can't see, but Sue said Carol towards the end of June. I think if that was the smoothie hats, yes, they're all required by the end of June. So and you want Carol's gonna. I didn't see what Carol was talking about, but Susan's saying she wants a message from Carol. Night, everyone. Love being in the broadcast. Excellent. Isn't it nice that so many of you came back in tonight? You'd not go on the London Eye either, Tracy. You did the big wheel in Cowsbury. Oh, I wouldn't even do the big wheel. Oh, no, too scared. It's as much as I can do to just step up a small step. And you should see me getting into my daughter's. She's got one of these, like a minivan. It's like a 7-seater thing, and up until recently, she was having to give me a push up because it was quite a step, and for me that's difficult. So she was stepping back and pushing me. I had a joke with a guy on the taxi driver on the Isle of Wight who had one of those, and I said, "My daughter pushes me up the bum, but I don't think you ought to do that, do you?" Anyway, no, most and on the Isle of Wight they have a little step. So I suggested to my daughter that I'm sure somewhere in the house there will be a little step from when the children used to step up to wash their hands, and we found the little step. So I could get on the little step and get in, but I can't then get hold of the step because so she has to come round and move the step. Otherwise, if I went down to pick the step up, I'd probably fall out of the vehicle again. But it's fun. So I get up and then she has to do that, and then we put it, she puts it down. I have to come out carefully because it's got to be careful that you land on the step. So you did the big wheel in Cows Week a few years ago with the kids and nearly had kittens, but obviously when the kids were little and we did it, I had to be brave. No, I didn't have to be brave because the men were all wanting to go on it. So I always let the men take the children, and I went and watched. I didn't like to watch even. I didn't even like see them going around the top of Carisbrooke Castle. That gave me kittens when I was standing on the ground watching them. So I'd be the bag lady, but I'd be somewhere else with the bags because it terrified me even watching them. Never again. Now they're older, it doesn't matter. Don't even do the chairlift. Oh, no way, because the chairlift would wiggle in the wind, wouldn't it? So let's have a look. Don't even do this. Check out The Strongest Man in the World from Invergordon, Luke Stockman and Brother Tom, the Albatross, both worth watching. And now we have Mrs. Hyacinth Bucket in the house. Hello, Lynn. I have no idea who Mrs. Hyacinth Bucket is, but you're welcome here as long as you join in the fun and the banter. But we will be finishing soon because I've been live streaming for 2.5 hours and it's time I went to rest my voice. Richard, that sounds interesting. What was it? Didn't manage to see it. I was watching something about Last of the Summer Wine yesterday from Catch Up, and they had Nick Parks on it. One that was Clegg from Summer Wine, as he was the voice of Gromit, which I never realised. No, I don't think I realised that either. I think you've seen all the others. Age UK Isle of Wight is the charity. That's it. So that might be way back. How is everyone? We are fine, thank you, Mrs. Hyacinth Bucket. Richard, mine is Rooster, and so was my dad, funnily enough. Oh, I think Susan's going back over a lot of the old comments now. So she's talking back about the Chinese New Year. So those were comments earlier. Sorry, I got a bit confused there. So Carol, you hate escalators and don't like lifts either. I don't like lifts where you go up on the outside of something or you can see out. But that's, other than that, I'm okay. I'm okay on lifts as long as you can't see out. Richard's done several helicopter trips, walk over Sydney Harbour Bridge. No, 20 years ago, passenger on a powered microlight. No, I would hate it. Above Wellington Monument, Somerset. Like being a pillion passenger on a motorbike. No, don't like that either, with wing above and nothing below, microlight. Oh, like flying like an eagle. I don't wish to fly like an eagle, thank you. But I don't, it's good for anybody who does. Lynn, you were the human coat and bag hanger carrier. I was, while everyone went up on their height. Absolutely. So your dad and mum were tigers, and I think we're going back to Chinese New Year now, aren't we? And had tiger tail on my pram. Love real tigers, especially rescue ones at the Isle of Wild Heart Animal Sanctuary, Sandown, Isle of Wight. Excellent. Yes, I know. Sorry, I know who Mrs. Hyacinth Bouquet is in the program, but I didn't know who it was who's coming in our broadcast masquerading as Mrs. Bouquet. So obviously we have a new viewer, Mrs. Bouquet. Welcome. So anyway, on that note, wait a minute. Susan Vengeance, most foul sequel to Wrong Trousers. Oh yes, featuring Feathers the Penguin again. Right. So folks, my throat is very dry now. I do need to go. I'll just read Susan's comment. She didn't drink smoothies until recently and didn't think you'd like them, especially as most contain banana and you don't like them. But a friend let me try a bit in a training course one day, and since then you've been hooked and have tried lots of different ones. Thankfully, normally get them as part of Mum's sandwich deal from the supermarkets. Has refused to pay £2.50 or £2.60 for those tiny little bottles. And I don't blame you, Susan. I don't blame you at all. Night, Tracy. I will message you about next, whether there's any chance we can catch up while I'm back on the island. What was I just going to say? Oh, yes, I don't drink smoothies because smoothies are not Slimming World friendly, because I eat a lot of fruit, but if you puree the fruit to have a smoothie drinks, it adds a lot more. It changes how the fruit works, and it is not good for Slimming World. But then you don't have a problem like that, Susan, at all, do you? So you do not have an issue about weight. So there we go. That sounds good. But do you remember what they were? Please, we'll try to get into town tomorrow to look if I get a chance, as I'm in the office tomorrow. Right. Anyway, I'm going to go. I keep saying I'm going to go. Too much sugar, sadly. Absolutely. Yes, so it becomes much more sugar content. So I like my fruit not in a smoothie, and not pure. Mostly not. I used to like a lot of stewed apple, but now if I have stewed apple, I have to count the sins for Slimming World. You can reuse the smoothie bottles for juice or water. Absolutely, you can. Just like banana, Lynn, mashed banana has sins and not mashed is free. Absolutely. That's it. So there you go. Anyway, I'm going. I keep saying I'm going, and I haven't been going, and I'm sorry I was late tonight, but we have had quite a good old chat. 2 hours, 36 minutes and 17 seconds. Night, Lynn. Good broadcast, as always, said Richard. It's a good broadcast because all of you interact, and that's what makes it so good. It's not, yes, I push the button and come on live, but I need an audience to participate with. Night, everybody. See you soon. Next week, I'll try and be on at 8:15 on Sunday. Bye. Susan, Andrew wants that link. Okay. Night, everybody. Lovely to see you in Yvonne today as well. And all of you, actually, but I haven't always had Yvonne in here for a while. See ya.